There's no time.
Lost.
The time is
13
o'clock.
Hey, you guys. Here we are once again for episode 188.
Yep.
Holy crap, you guys.
Yeah, it's Saturday.
Yeah, we're recording this on Saturday night. Most of you probably know by now, at least people that, listen to our show all the time. But we've started putting up like little daily updates.
Yeah, we call them sidetracks. Yeah.
So we've done so many of those, it's like now I don't know if we're going to have sidetracks on the regular show. I'm sure we probably still will.
It's just daily information, keeping you guys occupied, and we're talking about the apocalypse, and it's just, I told you I was going to talk you through the apocalypse. And that's what I'm doing. I'm talking you through
We're not talking just about the apocalypse.
We're talking about
shows.
everything.
We're talking about all kind of different shows. Talking about Elvis and books and all kind of cool shit.
Yeah, it's Saturday, and I just saw some stuff coming from France. France is undergoing the damn apocalypse right now, man. They got a lot of sick people there. So, heart goes out to France.
Yeah, well, to everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
We're all kind of in the same boat.
I think they're 14 days ahead of us.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Like I said, can't worry about it. I can't really do much of anything about it. So
Nope, just stay at home.
just kind of stay home if
Stay
you
at home.
can.
Keep your distance from other people.
Some people can't.
Right.
Because of their work or whatever.
Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
Which you should have been doing before.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I
Everybody's
touch
freaking out.
I touch my face all the time, but I don't
I
go
know
outside.
you do. I know you do.
I don't go out anymore.
But I'm just saying, people should have been like washing their hands and stuff
Yeah.
before this.
Yep.
I'm like, unless some nasty ass people weren't washing their hands before, I guess. But yeah, so this episode is kind of a several case episode, and I think someone suggested this a while back, and I thought, ooh, what a good idea, because I can cover like a lot of cool cases on that. This is kind of like a famous crimes of old Hollywood type of show. So I had 5 different cases I was going to talk about. It's going to be William Desmond Taylor, Fatty Arbuckle, Natalie Wood, Bob Crane, and George Reeves, a.k.a. Superman.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about those 5. So that should be a pretty entertaining show. We'll probably just do one case at a time.
Was George Reeves related to Christopher Reeves?
No.
No, just
Christopher Reeve was Reeve.
Okay.
It didn't have an S at
All
the
right,
end.
didn't have an S. All right. So
As
they just
far
weren't
as I
related.
know.
Okay.
Yeah, it just happened that they both
Just happened.
ended up playing Superman.
Yeah.
One of
All
those
right.
weird things. So before we get into that, let's see. We have a couple of shout outs. Again, I think I said this on one of what you got a fly
Yeah,
in your
something in
drink
there.
or
No, it's
something?
not a fly.
Okay.
Good.
Hopefully. Yeah, so I think we said this on one of the sidetrack shows, but thank you very much, Dominic, for sending us the movies. We're in the middle of the Elvis one right now, watching that with the Crustle in it. And he also sent us Hellraiser, which we'll probably review at some point, because that's actually been on the list for a long time, but we hadn't got around to it. So thank you very much for that. Also, want to give a shout out to Hanna, who sent me a PayPal donation. And also Jason, who sent me a very large PayPal donation and requested a t-shirt or a book.
Okay.
So I was like,
Did we send it
that's
to him?
probably good. Well, I just got it today.
Just got it today? Okay.
It's like, what the hell you
It's the
expect
first
me to
time I've
do?
heard of it. It's the first time I've heard of it.
Well, yeah, because I just got it today.
Okay.
That's why. It's like, what do you expect? I can't just like pull
All
a
right.
t-shirt out of my butt. We gotta like go
I'll
get it
make
and
one.
everything's closed.
Yeah. I have, depending on what size he wants, I have some stocks of black shirts.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you had any.
Yeah, I got
blank
about
ones.
10 or 15 blank ones.
Oh, all right.
And I
nice.
can make him one.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'll get with
What
you.
does he wants a
Jason.
one that says 13 on it?
I'll ask him.
Okay.
Like I said, I just
All right.
heard about it today, so that's why you're only just hearing about it now. I think that's probably all the shout-outs we have, right? Because do you have any other stuff you want to talk about
No.
before we open the
What
show?
the fuck? Look at the kitty.
What is she doing?
She's crawled out from behind the damn screen. What are you doing?
She's behind my other computer. It looks like
Ridiculous.
she backed.
I've never seen her do that.
She's so weird.
Funny. Okay.
She's doing crazy shit.
Just
over
crawling
there
out like
at
this.
a camera. You're so weird, Pookie. I can't reach the camera, otherwise I would turn it around.
Yeah.
All right, so as I said, we're doing like famous crimes of old Hollywood type stuff. So the first one that I want to talk about These are in roughly chronological order, not exactly. But the first one I want to talk about is the case of William Desmond Taylor. Now, this was actually a pretty big deal in the silent era, and I had actually never really heard of it until I started researching my first Faceless Villain book, because this happened in 1922. So I kind of gave a summary of it in there. But this is like a really fascinating case, and this case, along with the Fatty Arbuckle case, which I also want to talk about next, that was kind of the thing that was responsible for the infamous Hays Code, and all these like things where actors and stuff like that in Hollywood, like they had to sign like moral turpitude clauses and stuff like that that said that they wouldn't
do anything bad.
Like they wouldn't do drugs or like commit adultery or anything like that because they had to like maintain their image. You know what I mean? So this was one of the things that was the start of that, even though it's kind of dumb because it seems like the actor, or he was actually an actor and director, William Desmond Taylor didn't seem like he was into a lot of that stuff, but a lot of the stuff surrounding the case, kind of brought a lot of stuff to the fore because there were so many fucking suspects for this shit, and there was all kind of like crazy shit going on. So now William Desmond Taylor, he was originally from Ireland. I think he had like an English mom and an Irish dad or something like that. And he was born overseas. He was born like of a kind of a wealthy family, like landed gentry type. Now, interestingly, for some reason, I guess there was some kind of trend, which I don't think lasted very long, but where like the English and Irish landed gentry would like send their offspring, like once they were teenagers or like young adults or whatever, they would send them to the United States to become like gentlemen farmers for whatever reason. Okay. I don't know, like to toughen them up or something like that. So, so he ends up moving to Kansas and was there for a little while. Now, by this point, he hadn't changed his name yet. He was actually born William Cunningham Dean Tanner because they had to have like big, long landed gentry. They had these big, long hyphenated names and stuff. So he comes over to Kansas. He kind of gets into acting and stuff like that and gets interested in that. So then he moves to New York. Now, while he's in New York, he marries another actress and they have a kid. But then it seemed like he was kind of known as a little, I don't know if he was an alcoholic, but he was kind of like a heavy drinker. He was a party guy, kind of cheated on his wife, allegedly. They said he was kind of a womanizer. So he had been married. He was 36 years old at this point. So he was married and had a young daughter, but then one day he just took off because you could do that back then. So he just abandoned his wife and daughter and was like, I'm outie. And he took off. So his wife divorced him in 1912, about 4 years after he left. And for a little while, they don't really know what he was doing. They think that he kind of went around, like, in Canada, Alaska, and stuff like that. He was, like, panning for gold. He was doing, like, all kind of weird shit like that.
Trying to fucking damn live an enjoyable life.
I guess.
Yeah, he's going to be kind of like something out of the American Old West.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it. I'm gonna go live with the Indians.
Or whatever, yeah.
I'm going to go straight Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah, it might have been something like that.
Yeah.
So in 1912, though, the same year that his wife finally got a divorce from him because she figured he wasn't coming back, he turned up in San Francisco, and he had changed his name at this point to William Desmond Taylor, and he had some friends there that kind of like got him established and, loaned him some money or whatever, and I'm sure he probably had some from his family as well because they were kind of wealthy. And starting in the following year, he starts working in the movies. And he apparently does, like, really well. He was in a lot of movies, and he was in a lot of kind of well-known movies at the time, some of which have been lost, which a lot of movies from the silent era were. But, he started out as an actor, and I guess he eventually worked his way into directing and ended up directing, like, 49 movies. You know what I mean? So this was like and he was actually, at the time, in the, late 1910s, early 1920s, he was one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid directors in Hollywood. He had like a big, huge house. He had like a big, huge car.
So he was the Spielberg of his day.
Yeah, and it was like a big, huge deal. And he worked with like a lot of, the luminaries that people still remember, like from nowadays. Now, he had like a good reputation around town. Like everyone thought he was a great guy. They called him the gentleman director. Even though when he lived in New York with his first wife, he kind of had a reputation of being a womanizer and stuff. He didn't really have that in Hollywood. Most people said he was a real stand-up guy. He wasn't into anything, particularly shady or anything like that. So either they're just his buddies and they're like backing him up, or he did that bad thing and then he went on some kind of spiritual journey or wherever he went and he decided he was a bad person. He decided he was going to be a better person. I don't really know. The funny thing is that, well, it's not that funny, but so his first wife and daughter, they didn't know where he had gone, and they actually ended up going to the movies and seeing him in a movie and being like, hey, that's my husband.
Damn.
So it's like they did find him that way, and he did actually like come forward and like start like paying for the daughter.
He was using a different name, a new name?
Yeah, he had changed his name. The weird thing is that he had a brother. Well, he had like 4 or 5 siblings, I think. He had a brother who did the exact same thing. Like he went and married somebody and had a kid, and then like one day he just took off and like didn't tell them where he was going.
He did it first or after?
I think it was after.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't know if it was first or after.
You can get away with it.
Yeah, it's like...
But back then,
I did it. That's the thing. It's
back then, it was hard to prove your identity, and you can switch an identity easily.
Yeah.
So, you
clearly,
all you had to, and there were the federal governments and the states really couldn't reach across straight lines to do anything. And once you left one state and went into another state, you were home free.
Yeah, and we've talked about that before, like, especially like a lot of these crimes that happened like a long time ago. You could basically, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it was different. I don't know what the legality was about just like changing your name. I mean,
I don't think you had to do it legally. You just showed up.
You might not have.
You just showed up in the new state and told them what your name was.
Yeah. And
then you just built on that as you went.
Well, from what I could remember, and this was probably back in the 80s, I think you had to pay like $100 and like you had to go to like
maybe like a notary or something.
Yeah, you had to go to like a notary and change your name, and then you had to like publish it. Like, so everybody could see it. Like, you had to publish it somewhere public, like, like in a newspaper or something.
Yeah, and in that post-war era, the early 1900s, even back in the 17 and the 1800s, for you people that are maybe like European, an American state was like a country. They were basically sovereign. The federal government in Washington, D.C. was an organization kind of like the EU, I guess you would say. It was like a super state. But it respected the sovereignty of the states. Each one of them kind of had equal authority in the Union. So the federal government couldn't do anything to them.
Yeah.
And it couldn't do... Well, that's not a good way to... The federal government could do things to them. It's just that a citizen could go from one state to another, and one state couldn't reach across the other state and really do anything to that individual in that state.
Yeah.
So, motorized bandits like Bonnie and Clyde would commit bank robberies in one state right near the state line and then jump across the border into another state, and they were home free. They didn't commit that crime in the new state.
Yeah.
New state couldn't even arrest them for it. That got sorted out later, especially post-war. After World War II, that's really kind of when the Union got really strong, to where there was interstate compacts and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't really let people get away with that shit for long.
Well,
people would be abusing it.
I think it made more sense, post-war, because there wasn't a super state highway system. There wasn't a bunch of mass transit going from one state to the next. It was hard to pick up from one state and run into another state back in the... It was dirt roads.
Yeah.
Even if you had a car, it was still dirt roads. It took forever to traverse them. So interstate crime wasn't as common. Because it
was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, interstate travel was not that common. It was still kind of like the horse days, And then, in the Wild West period was kind of like piracy on the high seas, really. It was a similar situation. Going across the damn high plains was kind of like going across the ocean. If you didn't have a horse, you'd die. Kind of like if you didn't have a boat, you'd die.
Yeah.
And people stole from each other out there. There wasn't any kind of clear state. There was unclaimed territory, so there was no state rules. It was just like Mad Max land.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like the high seas. So America kind of came from that, and its culture is still kind of influenced by that, except for maybe like the New England states.
Yeah.
But the rest of the United States, that's why the United States is just buck-ass wild, you know. It's wild here. You can get in trouble, and they'll deal out some hellacious punishment to you, but it's still not really tame, say, compared to Europe, Western Europe.
Probably not.
No. And then, you know, you compared to Japan and Korea, man, you talk about tame. Very tame. Those people are low-key.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
more people should be low-key, I think.
Well, depends on how you look at it. It's not as fun.
Well, it's more fun for other people who don't have to put up with your ass.
They're conformist, though. They're highly conformist.
Yeah, I'm not super into that.
You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't walk around Japan with a tattooed sleeve like that.
Yeah.
You couldn't even go into a public bath with that, because they'd look at you as a bad person.
Yeah. I'm a bad person.
Yeah. But whatever. You're not bad.
I know.
But, you know what I mean? Conformity, you know, there's I like things that are kind of like a mixture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I
It
think
gets
most
too
people
tame, it gets too conformist.
Yeah.
You're right.
So like I said, this guy had successfully kind of like, you know, abandoned his old life, changed his name and everything like that. I forgot to say that he did some military service as well in World War I, and then started directing when he got back from that. Now, here's what ended up happening to him. So it's Thursday, February 2nd, 1922. Williams... he was like his kind of manservant valet type of guy. His name was Harry Peavy. And he comes out of the house out of Williams' bungalow at the Alvarado Court Apartments in Westlake, Los Angeles, and is yelling that William is dead. Now, he had come to work at approximately 7:30 that morning and had seen his boss lying on the floor in the front room. He was lying face up. Initially, they thought, because they didn't at first see any blood or nothing like that, so they initially just thought he'd had a heart attack or a stroke or something like that, and it just kind of like, you know, died of natural causes. He was in his 40s at this point. I think he was 49 when he died. Now, the weird thing about it is that this is back in the old days. You know what I mean? And I've mentioned this before when we talked about like older crimes, but they will just like let people walk the fuck in there and like touch shit and like just like, hey, let's check this out and all this other kind of crap. So apparently, you know, he was yelling for everybody in the neighborhood. So like the neighbors came over. It's like, you know, other people on the street came over to see what was going on. Somebody came into the house and said that they were a doctor and kind of like gave the body a once over and said, oh, he must have died of a stomach hemorrhage. And then the guy, like, the doctor, like, took off and they never could find that guy again.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He
Right.
obviously wasn't a doctor because that wasn't
That
what
was
William... Well, it's not what William died of.
That was just more of that shit I was talking about earlier. They
Yeah,
just
that's
kind
what
of
I
did
mean.
whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah. So, later on, eventually, somebody thinks to roll the body over, at which point they see a bullet hole in his back and a little puddle of blood. All right. So...
Doctor couldn't even find a damn bullet hole.
See, I don't think that was really a doctor. I just think that was some crazy person that like walked in off the street.
He wanted to see the body.
Yeah, he just wanted to see a dead body.
Yeah.
So the cops start going through William Dean Taylor's pockets. Now they found a wallet that had a bunch of cash in it. I think it was $78, which is over $1,000 in today's money. A really nice pocket watch, silver cigarette case. And he had like a really nice, like a really expensive like diamond ring and stuff. There's like, so clearly robbery was not the motive because there was a whole bunch of stuff that was still there and not taken. There was, however, a sum of money apparently that he had told his accountant about like the day before, and it was missing out of his account. But they never did find out what happened to that. But nothing was stolen from the house. It didn't look like anything, you know, it didn't look like there was any forced entry or anything like that. Now, so the first person of interest was, as usual, the last person to have seen him alive. Now, this was a a very dear friend of his who was in a lot of silent movies. Her name was Mabel Normand. She was like a comedic actress. And she was actually in a bunch of movies with Fatty Arbuckle, who we'll be talking about later in the show. The two of them, they're not really sure if they were romantically involved. They think that that perhaps William Taylor was in love with her, but she was like a commitment phobe. But they did like hang out a lot. And he did have, like, when he died, they found he had like a locket that had like a picture of her in it. So, she kind of had a crush on him, or he kind of had a crush on her. And I don't know if it's not that it wasn't reciprocated. It's just that maybe she wasn't, I don't know what it was, but they were like really good friends and they hung out all the time. So apparently she told police that she had left the house, at a little before 8 o'clock in the evening. They had been hanging out. They had been like drinking. This was during Prohibition. So they had been like drinking liquor, which was technically illegal. But they had had a few drinks. He had loaned her a book and she had, left about 7:45, 8 o'clock. She had a chauffeur, drive her limousine around and she was seen to get into the limousine. They kind of blew kisses at each other and she went home. Now, the neighbors also said that they heard something that sounded like the old infamous car backfiring at about, I believe, 8:45 or 9 p.m. So when he turned up dead of a gunshot wound, obviously everybody thought, well, that's probably the time that he was shot. So after they interviewed Mabel Normand, she was very, very upset. I mean, obviously, because this has been like one of her best friends and he was dead now. So they did like interrogate her for a really long time since she was the last person to have seen him before he died. But eventually they, they figured, well, obviously it couldn't have been her. So then they started looking into some other suspects. And it turned out this is like a fascinating case to me because and I don't know if this is just like a testament to the kind of business he was in, because even somebody as reportedly straight-laced as he was, like a nice guy and everything, there were so many people that would have had motive to kill him. And it's kind of like scary, you know what I mean? Like, and the shit that came up, they're like, well, this guy did this, that, and the other, and this woman did this, that, and the other, and there was like all these reasons, and I can't even like decide, I don't think, like who I think did it. I don't know, I have some kind of suspicions.
What kind of things you talking about? He was screwing people over? You gonna tell us?
No, that's what I mean. He wasn't. That's what's alarming about it.
All right.
So the first suspect that they looked at was this guy named Edward Sands. Now, Edward Sands had been his like servant valet guy before Henry Peavy. I think I said Harry Peavy before, but it's Henry Peavy actually. So Edward Sands had been his, former employee. Now this guy, he had a whole bunch of like convictions. He had forged checks in William Dean Taylor's name. He had taken his car, like when they were all on a trip in Europe, he had taken his car like out for a joyride or something like that and wrecked it. He also had charges for embezzlement. I don't think from him, but maybe from other people. He had deserted from the U.S. Army multiple times.
Multiple times?
Yeah.
That means he must have joined under different names.
I think he did, yeah. Right. Because he had like a whole bunch of different aliases. Now, he had been working for William Dean Taylor since about, I think it was 7 months like before he was murdered, that he got fired because I guess William D. Taylor was finally like, hey, can you like quit stealing all my shit and like doing all this? So he fired him. And Sands apparently had broken into Taylor's bungalow and stolen some shit. And they knew it was him because they found like his shoe prints like across the bed, like he had run across the bed and like left shoe prints and stuff. So not a master criminal. So he was kind of the first guy that they thought of just because he had such a long rap sheet. However, he had disappeared and they could not find him. So they don't know if it was him or not. So the next person they looked at was the guy who found the body. His current valet, cook / servant, whatever, whose name was Henry Peavy. he didn't really have a long rap sheet, although a lot of sources point out that he had been arrested for, 3 days before the murder, he had been arrested for social vagrancy, which, what the hell is that? I don't even know.
Social vagrancy.
Social vagrancy.
I wonder what that means.
I mean, I know vagrancy means, like, being homeless or, like, sleeping on a bench or something.
Social vagrancy.
Social vagrancy. It must be something sexual.
I don't know. It's something antique that you could never get convicted for nowadays.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
some
really
kind
know.
of weird term like being an asshole or something like that. You know what I mean?
Being an asshole.
Or cheating with people's wives. Well, that would be adultery. So what was social vagrancy?
That's what I mean. Social vagrancy. I can't figure out
Could
what it
it
is.
be a euphemism for male prostitution?
Possible, but that's kind of like a stretch. I don't really know. Everything was so euphemistic back then.
The cop goes behind a damn dumpster and fucking two dudes jump up off the fucking ground, fucking pulling their pants up and shit. You couldn't really catch them for nothing, but you know they were fucking doing the nasty. You go, that's it, social vagrancy.
Yeah, that sounds
something like
legit.
that. Something like that. Yeah.
But yeah,
that's just my fucking imagination.
Yeah,
right
I don't really know. I don't know what social
Trying to think
vagrancy
of-
is.
yeah.
I should probably look it up.
Right.
But yeah, so he had been arrested for that, but that seems less than relevant in a murder case, but whatever. So some people have said that about that. Now, it's funny because there was this one reporter, this woman, I think her name was Floribel Muir or something. She was just adamant that Henry Peavy was the killer, and she thought of the most horrifyingly hilarious yet kind of racist way of like proving it, because Henry Peavy was African American. So she said that, well, I know that black people are afraid of ghosts.
Okay, yeah.
So she got these two, like, compatriots
Yeah,
put sheets on, and then she told Henry Peavy, it's like, hey, can you show me where William Dean Taylor's grave is?
Yeah.
I'll give you, like, money or whatever. And when they all went to the cemetery, like, she had these, like, this guy jumps out in a sheet and says, I'm the ghost of William, like, confess. The stupid thing was that the guy she got to be the ghost had, like, a real, like an accent, kind of like a, I don't know, what kind of, like a mobster-y type of accent, like from the Chicago or something like that.
Yeah.
And Taylor was British.
Right.
And he had, like, a really, like, upper crust kind of.
Right.
So, I mean, Henry Peavy immediately is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of my face with that fucking...
Black people are afraid of ghosts.
Yeah.
She learned this shit from buckwheat.
That's what
remember fucking buckwheat? Yeah.
She must have seen, like, Little Rascals.
Must have seen Little Rascals.
And then thought, well, buckwheat is afraid of ghosts and the Little Rascals, so therefore all black people must be afraid of ghosts.
Yeah.
Which means that they would be fooled by a person in a sheet coming out from a gravestone that didn't even talk like the person they were supposed to be. Like, what the fuck was she thinking? But yeah, so obviously that didn't work
low expectations.
I guess. I was just like, that fucking story just like cracked me up. So I was like, what the fuck kind of cockamamie?
Yeah, he'll fall for this.
Yes. And then the guy was like, man, fuck off with that. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. So, again, so I was talking about Mabel Normand before, and she got, like, interviewed extensively because she was the last person that had seen him alive, one of his best friends. Now, even though they determined that she was very likely not the killer, I've never read any source that tried to make it so that she was the killer. She didn't have any motive. She didn't have anything like that. However... there is something that's kind of related to her that may have contributed to his death. And the fact was, even though Taylor wasn't into drugs, Mabel Normand most certainly was. And a lot of, she kind of ran with, I was watching a documentary about this earlier, she kind of ran with the Hollywood fast crowd, you know what I mean? So they were all on drugs, man, back then. It's like, good old days, like I said.
Yeah, it's not what people think.
No, they were all on drugs, and because they were very easy to get, they were everywhere. Everybody, and this, like I said, this was during Prohibition too, so it's like not only drugs but also
and
bootleg hooch.
Yeah, this is 1920s. What was it?
1922.
1922. Yeah. People don't realize that there was another sexual revolution going on at that time.
In the 20s,
in the 20s, and it was off the chain. It was LGBT. It was fucking. It was It was interracial. It was everything. It was going down back then.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, based on what people have written about, age wasn't a factor. They were fucking having sex with underage people. It was wild.
Yeah, it's shit you
was
wouldn't
wild.
get away with nowadays.
Shit you couldn't get away with
Big
now.
Time.
Yeah, and they would talk about it.
Yeah.
Like a little bit later, what was his name? Errol Flynn. Mm-hmm. Errol Flynn basically bought like a 14-year-old girl from her family, and just kept her in the house. He had it down
because that was allowed back then.
Yeah.
Evidently.
Yeah, he had her in a special room that had a damn two-way mirror in the ceiling, and all his friends would fucking take turns going at her, and they'd watch each other. She was kind of like a maid, but like a sexual servant too.
Now, how do you feel about Robin Hood, you guys?
Yeah, that was a good bit. And evidently, he was big into coke. He'd inject himself full of coke and fucking underage girls and a lot of cocaine.
And like I said, there was a lot of. It was very, 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 very commonplace. Yeah. And Mabel Normand was very into cocaine. She had been trying to get off it though, and that was one of the things that William Dean Taylor had been trying to help her with. He was trying to help her get over her addiction. Now, he was so anti-drug and so adamant about helping her get off of the drugs that he came forward and he was very vocal about going to, like, the feds and telling them that he would help them crack down on, like, the people she was getting the drugs from, like the dealers and shit like that. So the fact that he was so involved in trying to investigate drug dealers has also led some people to speculate that perhaps he was simply, there was a hit put out on him for that very reason. Now, I'm not sure about that because it doesn't seem, and I'll get into this in a bit, but it doesn't seem like a mob-style execution. You know what I mean? The way that he was shot, it was a pretty small caliber weapon, but he was like shot in the back, and I'll kind of get into like there was a weird angle that made them think that it was, that the shooter was in a particular position, which a mobster wouldn't be. So I do feel like there's probably another reason, but that's just another like aspect, of his life that might have contributed to him dying. Now, the weird thing is that one of his neighbors, whose name was Faith Cole McLean, she was also an actress, and I believe her husband Douglas was as well. Now, they were the ones that said that they had heard the sound that sounded like a car backfiring at about 8 p.m. And they said she said that she looked out the window and saw someone coming out of Taylor's house. Now, she said the person was not hurrying. They didn't look like they were in any kind of rush or anything like that. She said that the person saw her, like, looked at the window and saw her looking at him, and then kind of smiled at her, and then went back inside the house like he forgot something, and then came out again. So they said, well, what did this dude look like? And she said he looked like someone that, like a movie conception of like a burglar. You know what I mean? She said he was like funny looking, like he had a costume on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she didn't get a good look at his face. So she said that he looked like like a movie burglar.
Somebody dressed up to be a burglar.
That's what I'm saying. And she also speculated, I'm not sure if this was like a later attribution to her, if she actually said this in her police report, but she said that it might be a woman dressed up as a man. So there's that whole issue also. Just because the person wasn't that tall and like they were kind of slightly built and stuff. So another thing that happened too that kind of hampered the investigation was that, and this is not proven, one, they think the cops kind of like fucked up the investigation. Like I said, people were like stomping all over the fucking crime scene and everything like that. They also think that the guy who was the manager of Paramount Pictures at the time, who had Taylor's contract, went into the bungalow before the cops got there and took out a bunch of stuff. Like, he took out all the illegal hooch that was in there because he didn't want to get in any trouble. He took out, apparently, some love letters. He took out, like, some women's lingerie that had been in there. anything that could be seen as like scandalous. Apparently, the guy from Paramount went in there before the cops got there and took all that stuff out.
It was a weird time. It's a weird time because the general public was pretty uptight, but the elites were fucking off the chain, man. And really, that didn't trickle down to the middle class or the working class for fucking decades.
Yeah.
But you can go back. The Hollywood actually contributed a lot to modern standards of fucking attractiveness and hygiene. You can go back and go look at photographs of actresses and actors from the 20s, man, and they had their shit together. The way they looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the average person I don't think looked like that.
No, obviously not.
But that promoted a lot of, that promoted people to raise their standards.
Yeah.
And one of the things that ended up kind of going mainstream over time was kind of like weird sexuality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It took decades, though. It took decades. But it started in that era with those people. That particular scene.
And like I said, this murder as well as the Fatty Arbuckle case, I mean, that really kind of like brought into, if people didn't know about it before, it
that
kind of
brought it into what he was doing. Yeah.
Into kind of the mainstream, the public consciousness, the quote unquote decadence of Hollywood and like how something should be done about it.
Yeah, and then you had real young rich guys like Howard Hughes at that era trying to buy his way into that scene, bought RKO pictures and, going out with, Hollywood starlets. And there were, some of those starlets ended up writing books, just a few decades later, talking about everything that they did in Hollywood. They weren't shy of it, about it, most of them.
That's what I mean. Back in those old days, some of the shit is like as bad as, like the fucking Motley Crue book. It's worse.
Yeah.
Worse.
I think worse because sometimes, you know what I mean? Like I said, underage people were involved in a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
that
like
shit.
nowadays we at least have fucking standards.
Yeah, shit you would go to jail for. They were doing it.
Back then it was like no big.
Yeah.
And also because, like I said, because it was during Prohibition and so many of them were like drinking
and drugs,
bootleg liquor.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't regulated. So it's like they drink pretty much anything. They didn't know what the hell was in that shit.
Yeah.
They didn't know what was in any of the drugs. They didn't know what was in anything. They would just take it. Yeah. They were just partying all the time. So like I said, they were a lot more hardcore than.
Yeah, lots of homosexuality, lots of lesbianism. I mean, it was all going on.
Yeah, that is nothing new. Nothing new. Nothing at all.
They kind of saw themselves as kind of being futuristic and standing outside of society, and it was something kind of like, the ancients did it and they knew what they were doing, and we're not normal human beings. We're the gods.
Yeah.
Basically, it's kind of how
they would.
Gods of the silver screen.
Yeah.
And I imagine that in that era when nobody had any money except you, that's how you felt.
Well, yeah, because you could just do whatever you wanted.
They had a shit ton of money. Cars that the average person could only dream of, they had it.
I mean, I think it still happens nowadays with people that are so rich that they never really have to interact with normal people at all.
That's
I mean, they do in the sense of like people that work for them and stuff, but they're so insulated from normal people's lives that you know what I mean?
But I think
they feel like they can just do whatever the fuck they want.
I think this era was the first time you had celebrities that had that much power, or actors and actresses that had that.
Yeah, because some of these people were making a shit ton of money.
They were making more money than, say, European nobility.
Yeah,
they were, they had more power than them.
Yeah, it definitely did seem like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're more powerful than politicians.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. So
Yeah.
It would have been an interesting time to live.
It would have.
Yeah.
But,
What was what's her name? She was an actress. She kind of exposed a lot of that much later. She mostly did real racy flicks in Germany, and then she did kind of tame ones here. She had a little bob haircut. She came from the 20s.
Well, that was a lot of them, though. Clara Bow.
No, close. Shit, what was her name?
Myrna Loy?
No. She wrote a book about it, and I remember she kind of had a funny name.
Damn, I don't know. I can't remember.
She did movies. She wanted to do bigger and bigger roles, but Hollywood really, it was pretty tame. So she had to go to Europe to do fucking cool flicks.
Yeah, because Europe didn't get
Because in Germany, and it was silent film anyway.
Yeah.
So she didn't have to speak the language. I'm trying to remember what her name was, But she was kind of like the Natalie Portman of the time.
Yeah.
Little bitty thing. But she told all, she'd marry millionaires and then fucking divorce them because they were lame. She didn't care about money. It's funny. She didn't care about money.
I'm divorcing you because you're lame.
Yeah, you
Bye.
fucking lame. Yeah. She says, she was like, I realized that I had married a fan. Get out of here.
That is lame.
Yeah. Just some of the audience will remember who it is I'm talking about.
But yeah. So speaking of Hollywood starlets, now let's get into a couple of the suspects. And I think this is kind of more where I feel like we're getting warmer as to like something to do with like who killed this guy. So one of the suspects that they looked into was this little lady named Mary Miles Minter. Now, she, at the time that Taylor died, she was 19 years old. She had been in like a whole bunch of movies. She was a beautiful, beautiful girl. She was in a shit ton of movies. She played Cleopatra. She played all this other kind of stuff. Now, she had been a child star. Taylor was kind of her protege. He was much older than her. Apparently, some of the love letters that the Paramount guy allegedly took out of Taylor's house were from her. However, everyone that knew Taylor said that her affections for him, which were apparently really, really, really intense, were unrequited. Apparently Taylor had said, hey, I'm old enough to be your dad. It's like I have a daughter your age. It's creepy. It's like, and he was kind of had a thing for Mabel Normand, who was closer to his age. And so all of his friends said that he was nice to her because they worked together and stuff, but he like had refused her sexual advances. Also, she had some mental issues. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So they did find love letters from her, and they found some lingerie that was hers, but apparently she would sometimes turn up at his house like in her lingerie and be like, love me, and he'd be like, yes, you need to go. Damn. So apparently it was kind of like that. However, the papers, because they found out about the love letters, they published all that shit and said, oh, these two must have been fucking. Even though Taylor's friends all said, no, that wasn't what was going on. It's like she just kept bugging him and he was getting annoyed about it. So some people, now the fact that this all came out about her, that kind of like damaged her career because she had kind of made a career out of playing these kind of wholesome, like I said, she started as a child star. She was only about 19 at this time. And she was kind of like a wholesome kind of it girl type of, actress. And the fact that she had written these steamy letters to like this much older man, caused a lot of her, her career to be damaged. So some people have speculated that, because remember how I said that the neighbor saw this person coming out of Taylor's house that looked like they were wearing like a burglar type costume and thought that it might be a woman dressed as a man. So some people have speculated that Mary Miles Minter was actually the killer, that she actually didn't go to the house intending to kill Taylor, but that she went there to like, again, profess her love for him. Maybe she had like worn some lingerie under a trench coat or something and had been like, hey, I love you and all this other kind of stuff. And he'd been like, yeah, no, you have to leave. And then they'd gotten into an argument and maybe she had shot him. So that's kind of another possibility. However, I do think that there is another possibility kind of related to this one that might be a little bit more on the nose, and that would be Charlotte Shelby, who was Mary Miles Minter's mother. Oh, yeah. Now, according to everybody that knew this woman, she was like the textbook example of like the horrible stage mother. Right. You know what I mean? She, like, Mary Miles Minter, they had, her and her mother had like a complicated relationship. And she had another daughter too, named Margaret. And both of the girls were kind of messed up. They both had like a lot of mental issues and had been on medication and spent time in asylums, things like that. Now, apparently this mother was just adamant about keeping Mary's reputation unsullied. And when she found out that Mary was in love with Taylor, apparently Charlotte made it a point of like threatening him, like all this to stay away from my daughter or I'll kill you. She actually said that in public several times. Everybody knew that she had like a .38 that she would carry around. Several other actors and directors at the time said that she had come to the set and like waved it around at them, like threatened to shoot them if they were like touching her daughter wrong or like looking at her daughter wrong or something like that. So she was kind of a crazy person. So it should be noted too that when they did when they looked at the bullet wound on Taylor, it did appear that it had come from a 38, and it was kind of an unusual type of bullet, and apparently she had some of those bullets in her house. So a lot of people, I think, sources differ on this one because I've read like a bunch of different sources about this particular case. Some people are into like the drug dealer thing. Some people are into like, the valet thing. Most people think that it was either Mary Miles Minter, the 19-year-old, or it was her mother, Charlotte Shelby, just either because of unrequited love or because of like Charlotte Shelby wanting him, because she had threatened to kill him before if she didn't stay away from her daughter. Now, for a while, I was thinking that probably it was Charlotte Shelby, but then I was watching another documentary about this earlier that kind of made me lean back toward Mary Miles Minter again, because they said that the way that the bullet hole had entered his body, it looked like the person that shot him had been hugging him. You know what I mean? Like the way that his arm was, like the angle of it. They said now, this person would have had to shot him from very, very, very close range, and his arm would have had to been raised because it like went like into his back or like in here and like came out or something like that. Like there's like a little, like a little chart that shows you.
They didn't recover the gun.
No, not the gun.
What about the bullet?
I think they did. Like I said, they did find like a bullet casing.
But did they say what caliber we're talking
38.
about?
I said it was 38. I've said that several times.
But and it was ejected?
I don't know. I'm just saying
They
knew that it was a 38.
So, they found the case. You found the case of the bullet. But if they found the case, that means that it was an automatic and it injected the empty case.
Maybe it was the bullet then. Because they did say...
Well, they did have 38 automatics. They had 38 ACP at that time, and they had like 380. I'm just trying to think of, could have been a 38 ACP in early Colt. But that's not really something that a woman would carry.
Well, that
not
seemed...
at the time.
I mean, maybe, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe they found the bullet. Maybe it was still lodged in there. Because they did say it was like an unusual type of bullet. Because they also found the same bullets at Charlotte Shelby's home. And she was known to have a 38 that she would wave around at
Might have
people.
been something like 38 short Colt. Or some shit like that. Which was a small, weak 38 revolver cartridge.
Yeah.
And... No recoil. Pop gun, really, by today's standards. And because those revolvers were kind of small and they were very tame to shoot, that would be something that a woman might have. Yeah. She had it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, numerous witnesses did say that she had that. Okay. Like, she was quite well known for having that.
Yeah, in the 20s, 38 ACP would have been basically a military cartridge. Yeah. That would have been something that, you know what I mean? Somebody with military experience would own. Yeah. It was a full power cartridge by those standards, a powerful cartridge by that day's standards,
So the only thing that's making me think, because at first I was thinking, oh, it's Charlotte Shelby, it's the mom, because she hated him, she had like threatened to kill him, she had the gun, everything like that. I read in several sources that after that information about the bullets went public, she threw the gun into like a bayou in Louisiana or some shit. Allegedly. So for a while I was thinking it was her, but then when they said, well, it looked like the person that shot him had been hugging him, that made me lean a little bit more toward Mary because, one, Taylor and Charlotte Shelby, the mom, hated each other. So why would they be hugging? I mean, I really doubt that Charlotte had spent so long like threatening him. I doubt that if she showed up at his house and was like, hey, let's let bygones be bygones. Come here, man. Let me give you a hug. I don't know if that would have gone down like that. Mm-hmm. However, had Mary showed up at his house, which she had done before. Damn it, Pookie.
she's attacking the camera tripod. Leave it alone.
Which she had done before. It's, let's say she had shown up that evening unexpected. She'd been, like I said, she'd been wearing her, like, sexy lingerie or whatever, like, under a trench coat. She comes in there and she's just like, hey, love me, marry me, or whatever. And he's just like, no, man, I can't do this right now, or whatever. And then she gets upset, or she's, like, trying to hug on him and stuff like that. And she either on purpose or accidentally, like, shoots him, like, under his arm, like, in the back or something like that. That sounds fairly likely, because I didn't mention, because I just remembered it just now, that earlier on, Mary Minter had apparently, according to her family, had threatened to kill herself and then run upstairs and, like, shot a gun off. And then when they went running up there, she was, like, laying on the ground, like, with a gun in her hand and stuff. And they were all like, oh my God, she's dead. And then she woke up and she was like, just kidding. So she does that kind of shit. So this is clearly not a stable woman.
Yeah, that was more common back then than you think, though.
True.
There was a lot. Women used to attempt suicide all the time in the early 1900s to get their way, and they were doing it in Europe too. But that was pretty common. As a matter of fact, a bunch of women evidently committed suicide or attempted or pretended to commit suicide behind Adolf Hitler before he came to power. Some of them were his cousins.
Yeah.
Because Germans married cousins, which is, kind of weird when you think about it. But I think he had two of them, or at least one of them that tried twice. And it was that same kind of theme.
Yeah.
That was in the fucking culture of the West at that time. A woman couldn't get the man she wanted. She'd throw a fucking fit. She'd pull a gun and boom, either shoot herself for real or pretend.
Yeah.
It was a cultural fucking phenomenon at the time. Kind of weird.
Well, everyone was drama queens.
They were drama queens. Guns were everywhere.
Well, see, that's why I'm kind of thinking
it was a thing,
it wouldn't surprise me if the mom had done it, because she had, means and motive.
Yeah.
However, it also wouldn't surprise me if Mary had done it. And I'm not saying that she did it on purpose. I don't think, if she did do it, I don't think she went there intending to kill him. I think she went there, she could have taken her mom's gun, you know what I mean, from the house. Yeah. She knew where it was. And, she could have gone there with the intention of, like, getting the D or getting him to, like, ask her to marry him or something like that, and then he didn't want to do it. It wasn't going the way she wanted, and maybe she was kind of trying to, like, rub up on him, like, hey, come on, man, or something like that, and maybe she was drunk and she fucking, I don't know.
I'm gonna say no. My experience with firearms, shooting somebody like that up close, it's just never an accident. It's an assassination. You have to want to shoot somebody.
I was giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Nah. And what it was is, if that's the scenario, and I'm skeptical of that, but if that was the scenario, somebody grabbed him in a ploy, you know what I mean, to like they were hugging him, and then put a pistol up to him and pull the trigger.
Yeah. Somebody did kill him, so somebody had a reason.
It might have been some jealousy shit. I can't have you, so no one's going to have you. That's probably what it was. But I'm real skeptical about all this angular shit, because a lot of times that involves lawyers in courts, and they're trying to come up with some kind of an explanation to find somebody innocent or guilty. So they say, well, this person must have been doing this or this. A lot of that shit can be interpreted 4 or 5 different ways.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
true.
The angle was funny because he was leaping to his own defense and trying to get away from somebody who had opened fire on him.
Yeah, or some people said maybe his arms were like maybe his hands were up, like, hey, don't shoot me, or something like that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways you can interpret bullet angles in a lot of different ways, depending on who's telling you the damn story.
Yeah.
But I think probably, like you said, I think it was unrequited love. Some bitch was like, that's it, I can't have you, no one's gonna have you, that type of deal. You're humiliating me by not, sealing the deal here. And, maybe he tagged it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he had broken a promise to get with her. Something like that.
Yeah, it could be. It's
and
very
the mom
possible.
may have known.
Yeah.
And then he's backing out on the deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After he tagged it.
Yeah.
So they go down there, and Mama goes down there and fucking puts a bullet in him. For being a fucking cad. What they called it back then.
Yeah.
In those days, a cad.
Should be noted that Charlotte Shelby's other daughter, Margaret Shelby, who is also an actress, even though she had her own mental health issues and stuff like that, she was convinced that the mom had done it.
Probably. It sounds like it to me.
She thought the mom had done
She
it.
kind of sounds...
Well, like I said, the mom is the one that was going around saying, I'm going to kill you, you motherfucker.
Yeah, well, she sounds to me kind of like, you know, the moms of those little childhood beauty queens?
That's exactly what this is.
Where then they raise up and she's got an army of fucking beauty queens out there to make money and fame.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to marry her off to this dude. You know, she puts out... They think the fucking payday's coming, the marriage is coming, and then all of a sudden he kicks her to the curb. And she's like, that bitch, I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
It's going to be something like that.
And like I said, she had threatened him, like several witnesses.
That's probably what it was.
Now, another weird wrinkle in this case, though, and this happened later on. Now, there was this other woman she was another silent era actress named Margaret Gibson. Now, she had actually worked with Taylor when he first came to Hollywood, like back in the late 1910s. Now, she had a little bit of a criminal record. I think she had convictions for, like, opium dealing, prostitution, stuff like that. So she got in kind of a little bit of trouble with the law, and it was affecting her career, so she changed her name to something else and, like, started acting under another name, Patricia Palmer. I think she did extortion and shit as well. Now, she seemed to have gotten work as an actress prior to that. However, on her deathbed in 1964... she gathered, like, all her family around and said, hey, I got to tell you guys something. I killed William Dean Taylor.
Ooh, sounds good.
So, I don't know why she... that might have been... If she did it, I don't know why she would have confessed on her deathbed.
Yeah.
But, you know, this was many years later. This was in the 60s.
Might be true.
She did know him. She had worked with him early on.
What'd she say?
That's all she said.
That's
she
all
just
she
said
said
she killed him.
She didn't say the reason or anything, huh?
I don't think so. Isn't that crazy?
Maybe
so yeah, Margaret Gibson. That she confessed that in 1963, right before she died, she's like, yeah, I shot him.
But she didn't say why or anything.
Mm-mm. Like I said, I would assume that it was unrequited love, probably.
Yeah, or he fucked her over.
Because she knew him. They had worked together. Although, it's weird because I don't think she was on the police's radar initially.
Maybe that's why the case was never solved.
Maybe that's why, because she was the one that did it and nobody thought of her.
Nobody suspected her, yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
So I definitely do
Something
think...
must have went down.
Even though there were, like, some other... Yes, he had a couple of valets that could have done it. You know, he had that one valet that had, like, fucked him over in the past. Edward Sands, I think his name was.
Yeah.
And he had done shit before. So it's possible that guy could have done it. Yes, it could have been drug dealers and stuff like that. To me, this seems more like one of the ladies. I think one of the ladies did this one.
Sounds like it.
I mean, it definitely does seem like a lot of the fucking...
breaking
shit.
hearts and fucking, you know, yeah.
He was a good-looking fella, you know, and he probably had that, like, you know, that he had that British accent and everything. Now, as I said before...
He forgot what country he was in.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, he's gonna get his...
These women will fucking take care of your ass. Fucking put a bullet in you. Especially old Hollywood back then. Like I said, they didn't have the forensic technology. If you were slick, and you could... Get away with it.
Which, whoever did it got away with it.
And then, you know, these actresses had what it took to charm their way through a police interrogation.
It's like
I would never
I would never do.
You know how they are.
Just like that fucking musical, Chicago. He had it coming.
So, yeah. As I'm saying, he forgot what country he was in.
But yeah, like I said, so... this murder, like I said, is still unsolved. No one has any idea, like, who killed him. And it was definitely one of the scandals. I mean, there was a bunch of other ones, including Fatty Arbuckle, and a couple other, like, drug overdoses and things like that happened around the same time that contributed to the bringing in of the Hays Code and the moral turpitude clauses that actors had to sign and everything like that. It's funny, like, the Hays Code, the shit they brought in, so you couldn't do... like any kind of sexual anything anymore. It's like you had to, you know, there's no sex perversion, no this, that, the other. That was all in the Hays Code. It's just like fucking hilarious.
That little black thing's in there. I don't know what it is.
You got bugs in your drink.
I don't think it's a bug. It was flat. It was kind of like a...
I don't know.
I think it was a flake of... I think it was paint. A little fleck of paint, yeah.
Ew. You're drinking paint.
Well, you know how this little table
drinking
here?
Lead paint.
This little table right here, little Japanese bamboo table.
Yeah.
I think that's where it came from.
Oh, okay.
It's black.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, we're back. And I found the name of that girl that I was thinking of. Her name was Louise Brooks.
Louise Brooks, yeah.
Go ahead and Google up Louise Brooks. Maybe Jenny will show some pictures of her. But that woman was 100 years ago. And look how modern...
Isn't that crazy, like, thinking about that?
And look how modern that...
I always liked her. She always seemed like a cool chick.
And she was super cool. She had a lot of really cool photo shoots, Art Deco. A lot of it was kind of semi-nude. Some of it really cool fucking hair. I mean, you could make movies with her now. That's how cool she was.
Yeah, no one would bat an eye.
No. She was a little skinny for my taste, but that's just the way that's just the way,
all that cocaine.
That flapper look was back then.
Well, yeah, they were all very small.
But, Louise Brooks. Fucking stylish.
Like I said, I always dug her. I like a lot of that silent era, that look, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And she was up to some shit, too. She was up. She talks about it. I mean, you can find out, going to Germany and hanging out in the damn lesbian clubs and stuff, and just, it was a trip.
Like I said, she seemed like a cool chick.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to say, too, I think it just occurred to me that I think when we were talking about the last case, I kept saying William Dean Taylor, when it's actually William Desmond Taylor. I don't know why I was doing that.
Yeah.
I guess because R. Dean Taylor was the guy that did Ghost in My House that the wall covered. Maybe that's why I was thinking of Dean. But yeah, it's Desmond, actually, so sorry about that.
This next one's a good one, too. Fatty Arbuckle.
Yeah, this happened right around the same time. And again, this was another case, like another scandal that contributed to the Hays Code coming in and what I mean. So this was one of
I'm going to be into this story because I don't really know it's true. I've heard a lot of different fucking stories about him with fucking putting bottles up in women and
that is not
it's not true.
What happened. No.
Okay.
That was something that was added much later on.
He was a comedian, big fat guy he had a real fucking positive persona. His public image was that he was just a real fun guy, and then he turns up dead with some chick.
No, he wasn't. He didn't die.
Wasn't that one?
No.
No. Didn't some chick die?
Yeah.
That's what I meant. He turns up with some dead chick, is what I meant.
Sort of. That's not really how.
Kind of.
Yeah,
but that's the story that they wanted to tell you.
Yeah. Well, I feel like even at the time, I mean, there was a lot of shit made up at the time because, like I said, people talk about shit nowadays, but it's like back then they had no scruples at all about just making shit up and putting it in the paper. They would just put whatever they didn't care.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I think it's still
whatever,
that,
sue us. Well, no, it's not as bad as it used to be. It's not. Seriously, it's not.
They called it, what they call it, yellow journalism.
Yeah, it's really not. I've read several books about that era, and it's like, it's much better now than it used to be, trust me. But yeah, so Fatty Arbuckle, Fatty was obviously not his name, and he hated that nickname. That was something that the studios gave him. His actual name was Roscoe Arbuckle. He actually got started, I didn't know this, but he got started in the Keystone Cops silence. And he was actually spotted by a producer. He was like the only fat Keystone Cop. But he was a really good physical comedian. They said even though he was, quite large, I believe he was 266 pounds, which, well, it's not that fat by today's standards, I guess, but back then it was
it
was still pretty fat.
That's a lot of weight.
But and the way he carried it, he looked like, a fat person. It's like, because I've seen some people that weighed 266 that you wouldn't know. It just depends where you carry it. But they said that even though he was 266 pounds, he was very graceful and very acrobatic. Like I said, he was a very good physical comedian. So he kind of stood out in the Keystone Cops, and he eventually ended up getting a contract with Paramount Pictures. Now, after the time, he made a shit ton of movies, and at one point, he was the highest paid actor in the world. I don't even think it was comedic actor. I think it was just actor. He got $1 million contract in 1921.
Shit, that's
when nobody had that.
That's $100 million.
You know what I mean?
More than $100 million.
I don't think it's that much, but it's it was a lot. So? Nobody had that.
It's at least $50 million.
So it was a lot of money.
But there's, okay.
And he was, I believe he mentored Charlie Chaplin. He was also really good friends with Buster Keaton. They worked together a lot. And he worked with a lot of the leading starlets of the time, including Mabel Normand, who we talked about last time. So he was kind of on top of the world. He had a giant house, giant car. He was just really, really successful. Everybody knew who he was around the world. He was just in all these silent films. Really funny. Everybody loved the guy. And then came Labor Day weekend, 1921. Now, accounts differ about what happened. I have my own opinions about what happened. I wasn't there, obviously, but I do think that a lot of the shit, it kind of sucks that that's the only thing people remember him for nowadays.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it didn't go down the way people think that it went down. You know what I'm saying? So, Labor Day weekend... he's decided, like, he's been working a lot, so he decides to take a couple of his friends, and they're going to go, kind of have a big party at one of his favorite hotels, the St. Francis Hotel in San Francisco. Now, they rented 3 rooms. One of the rooms was for him and, a friend of his, and then there was another room for one of the other guys, and then the other room was, like, the party room. So they had set up this room with just, like, food everywhere. They had illegal booze, like I said, prohibition. So they had all the booze in there, drugs, presumably, I would think, too. So they had, like, a room. So people were, like, in and out, like, all weekend, you know what I mean? Like, it was a 3-day type of thing. Now, one of the women that turned up at the party was a 26-year-old actress named Virginia Rapay. Now, she was kind of known, as a lot of people were at the time, like especially actresses, like I said, it was a very party-centric era. So she was kind of known as a party girl. So she turns up at the party, like early afternoon or something like that. And somehow, by the end of the day, she didn't die that day. She was actually, what ended up happening was that they thought something was the matter with her. Initially they thought she was just really, really drunk. Because she was acting very strange. She said she couldn't breathe. She started like tearing at her clothes and things like that. So they thought something was the matter with her. The weird thing was that they didn't take her to a hospital right away. They took her to like a sanitarium or some shit like that. And then
that's kind of was a hospital.
Yeah. And then she ended up dying 2 days later. Now.
Must have been some kind of mixture of she was on drugs and she must have been sick.
Well, I'll get into that. It's
okay.
You know what I mean? I'm going to get into that. Now,
because I can't really think of any drug offhand that they had access to recreationally that would make you not be able to breathe.
Well, okay. So here's what happened. Now, the only reason that Fatty Arbuckle got into trouble for this, I think. So Virginia Rapay had come to the party with a couple of her friends, and one of her friends was named Maud Delmont. Now she reported to police that Arbuckle was drunk and Virginia was also kind of drunk, and that Maud said that she saw Fatty Arbuckle like essentially strong-arming Virginia into a room, saying something like, "I've waited for you for 5 years and now I've got you." Then she said that she heard screaming coming from the other side of the door, the locked door of Arbuckle's room. And then apparently, this friend like goes in the room, finds Virginia in there. She's all like naked. She's moaning in pain or whatever.
Fast?
She says something, it was like 30 minutes or something like that. And she says something like, "He did it," or "He hurt me," or something like that. And then they, they go and they put her in a tub or something like that. And then they're like calling the hotel doctors. Now, the hotel doctors that came to the room, they seemed to think that she was just intoxicated, which is why they initially just sent her to a sanitarium. They didn't send her to a hospital because it didn't look like
there was anything wrong with her.
Anything was wrong with her other than her being super, super drunk. They said she was acting like she was super drunk, but that was about it. They didn't see any bruising.
She must have been drinking some damn bathtub.
Well, yeah, like I said, there was some bootleg hooch going on.
Yeah.
Now,
if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, booze was, of course, there's prohibition. Booze was illegal, and some, you couldn't get fucking high quality shit back in the days. In case you're too young, I have to explain. Let Dad come in and explain to you. Sometimes you had to like cook up some hooch in a damn bathtub. They called it bathtub gin. And if a guy didn't know what he was doing, instead of methyl alcohol, it was ethyl alcohol. And there's all kinds of weird mistakes you could make.
That's what I mean.
When you're
you
making
could die.
hooch.
You were taking your life in your hands.
Because there's more than one kind of alcohol, and the distillation process can be finicky if you don't follow it perfectly, or you use the wrong ingredients. You can make gasoline. And if you drink
and
that,
you don't want to drink that.
You drink
tip.
You drink that, you go blind, and you know what? That might suffocate you. That you might feel like
Maybe.
You have
but like I said,
breathing.
That's not what happens.
But usually, what it is you get blind drunk, and you can't. It fucks up your vision. it can kill you.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what happened. What did it say? We'll see how the story goes.
So, yeah. So, they take this poor woman away. Now, even though this Maud woman who came to the party with Virginia, I think Fatty knew Virginia previously because she was kind of like well known like in Hollywood or whatever. I don't know if he knew Maud as well, like, or maybe he had just met her that day or whatever. So Maud essentially says to the police, well, Fatty dragged her into the hotel room and raped her, and then later on she turned up dead. So obviously he murdered her. So Fatty gets arrested. Now, according to his story, he's like, here's what actually happened. Mm-hmm. He's like, we're all at the party, because it was a shit ton of people there. It was 3 hotel rooms. Like I said, there was one party room, and there was a couple rooms. Like, one was Fatty and his friend, and then, like, the other was, like, some other guy's room. He's like, here's what happened. He's like, I had this other friend that needed a ride into town, or needed a ride to Napa or something like that. He's like, and I was in my pajamas, because it was party weekend, you know, so I hadn't put any clothes on. So, he's like, so I said, okay, well, I'll take you. And he went to his room to put clothes on. And he said he found Virginia Rapé in his bathroom throwing up. So he thought, as most people did apparently, that she was had too much to drink. So he was like, hey, you okay? And kind of like, you know, after she was done throwing up, like kind of put her out on the bed. He also said later that he had kind of got some ice and like tried to cool her off and stuff because she seemed like she was kind of, you know, upset and everything. And then he was just like, okay, well, and he went and told like some of the other people at the party, hey, you know, she's kind of fucked up. Maybe we should do something about it. They called the hotel doctors. Hotel doctors said, yeah, she's probably had too much to drink. You know, do you want us to take her to the you know, the sanitarium or whatever? They said, yeah, you know, should take care of her or whatever. And then Fatty said that he left and drove his friend to wherever it was that she was going. And he said, I never, you know, I wouldn't rape a woman. He's like, I've never done that in my whole entire life. I would never do such a thing.
Plus
and
the kind of fame and money that he had at that time, I don't think he'd have to.
And and most of his friends said the same thing. They said seriously, they said he was the nicest dude ever. They said he was really shy around women, actually, and that he wasn't like that at all. So...
yeah, he didn't Weinstein her, I don't think.
That's what I'm saying. So now it turned out that Virginia Rapé did die 2 or 3 days later. Now, even though initially they thought it was alcohol poisoning or something like that, when they did an autopsy, they discovered that she had died, that she actually had peritonitis, and that she had died of a ruptured bladder. So they thought perhaps, because I've seen like different sources say that she knew that she had peritonitis like for a long time, like it was a chronic condition.
Okay.
And that she was kind of a drinker, and alcohol drastically exacerbates that condition.
Okay.
So that she was kind of well known for going to parties and drinking too much.
Right.
And then she would start like writhing in pain. She would like start tearing at her clothes.
All right. So it's starting to make sense now.
And stuff like that. So they said she was kind of like, so they did an autopsy and they found that. Now, the fact that she had a ruptured bladder, though, made some people think, oh, well, maybe Fatty Arbuckle was trying to rape her, and he was so fat that it busted open her bladder, and she died.
We live in an age of porn, and we can see anything today. And have you ever seen a woman's bladder be ruptured by screwing a fat dude?
I have not.
I don't believe it's possible.
I'm just saying that's what people said.
I don't believe it's possible. I think it's all starting to make sense to me now. What it was is she had peritonitis. She admitted to it. It was a
and they found it in the autopsy.
It's a pre-existing condition. She was known for drinking a lot and fucking trying to tear herself up because
it was very painful. You know what I mean?
Probably what happened is that she got some kind of an infection.
That's kind of what I'm
thinking.
thinking.
And then she started drinking on top of it. And then it kicked in, and somehow it ate through the infection that she had prior.
Yeah.
You know, ate through her bladder. You know what I mean? Or compromised her bladder in a certain area. And her bladder swelled up from all the drinking, and it ruptured.
That's kind of what I'm suspecting.
And then it went into her abdominal cavity, went into her body. And that'll fuck you up quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because it should be noted.
It's toxic. It's what they call it, sepsis. I think is what they call it, sepsis.
Because, I mean, we're talking about the 1920s. But even in the 1920s, like the doctors that came and examined her, I mean, they didn't know about the peritonitis. They didn't know about any of that. They just thought she was like really, really intoxicated. So that's kind of what they were operating on. But they did note that she did not look as though she had been raped. She was not bruised. She did not have any... There were no like signs of violence on her or anything like that.
She's probably just drunk and lashing out.
And it took, and like I said, it did take several days. Like she died like 2 or 3 days later.
Yeah.
And really most of the other people at the party, they either hadn't seen what happened because they were all partying and they weren't really paying attention, or they said, Fatty just went in there and like found her in the bathroom throwing up, like she was sick, and like, kind of rubbed some ice on her or something like that, like trying to like chill her out, or like they put her in a tub of cold water or something.
Yeah, but I can see how this goes. This happens to him in the age of yellow journalism, and it's gonna it's gonna take a crazy ass direction where he did this.
And it did seem
that'll sell a lot of papers.
Yeah, and it does seem that, like, one woman that had been at the party that said that she saw Fatty like drag. And I think there was one other person that maybe said like something similar, which is why they ended up arresting him.
To say that. They might have been coerced to say that for money for the damn newspapers, because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A story like that was worth a lot of money.
And listen to this shit. It's like, even nowadays, like, if they print like stupid shit, they at least like have the, decency to like not be so fucking blatant about it. Back in the old days when like William Randolph Hearst owned the shit.
Yeah, they didn't fucking mince words.
Yeah, he basically said that when Fatty Arbuckle got arrested and like was on trial and stuff, he's like, we are selling more papers than when the fucking Lusitania sank. Yeah. Like he said something like that.
Yeah.
Like, so he didn't care if it was true or not. He just wanted to like sell newspapers.
Let this be a lesson to you people. Fucking lies, salacious lies sell better than the truth.
Well,
always.
An awesome story sells better, though. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't really matter.
Throughout history, man, it's been that way. Throughout history, it's been
Everybody
that way.
wants salacious details.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of saying, it's like, I wasn't there. It's so like, I don't like to get into a thing where it's like, oh, now we're not believing like rape victims and stuff, because that's not my intention.
The evidence wasn't there.
In this situation, I definitely think that this was a case of somebody at a party. Maybe they were inebriated, maybe something. Maybe they saw something they didn't really see, or they misinterpreted something. And maybe they had good intentions, maybe not, I don't know. But the problem with this is, I really don't think Fatty Arbuckle had anything to do with it. Now, the poor guy was put on trial 3 times.
Wait a minute.
For manslaughter.
3 times?
For rape and manslaughter.
Yeah.
Well, what ended up happening, the first time he went on trial, he testified, and the jury was 10-2 to acquit.
Yeah.
There was one woman on the jury that said, I don't give a shit whatever I hear in the thing. I'm going to do guilty or whatever, because she was just like dead set. She thought he was a monster or whatever. She had already decided that.
Right.
So it was a hung jury, so they had to have a retrial. So then they had a second trial, and Fatty Arbuckle thought that, or at least his defense attorney was like, well, we've had like so much new shit come out about people that were like bribed to say this.
Yep.
Some people bribed to say that he didn't think that Fatty needed to testify, which maybe was kind of a mistake, because in that trial, I think it was opposite. I think it was 10-2 to, convict, but it was still a hung jury. So then they had to do another retrial, a third one. Now this retrial, they acquitted him. Not only did they acquit him, but the judge, I believe, came out and said, acquittal isn't good enough. Leave this poor fucking man alone. He didn't do anything. Like, essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what they said. It's like, he really fucking didn't do anything. There's no evidence that he did anything to this girl.
It was just a media pile on.
It's like, and then
it became a witch hunt.
Yeah, and then, looked like all that happened was he found this girl who he kind of knew in his bathroom. He tried to help her.
He was the rich fat guy.
And then he was just like, hey, can you guys look out for her? I got some shit to do. And then he left.
Right.
So it kind of looked like that's what happened.
And he was the rich fat guy. And so they fucking zoomed in on his ass for a bunch of different reasons.
Yeah.
Because rich fat guy, well, shit, he must be up to some. He must be abusing the women if he's rich and fat.
Yeah.
Fucking soiling all these fucking skinny, pretty girls. That's one angle. Another angle is that if we can get this story to fly, we'll make all kinds of money. As fucking as famous as he is.
Yeah.
And it didn't sound.
And
right.
there was, and like I said, it came out later
Think
that
about
there was
this.
all kind of like blackmail and shit like that, like going on, like people paying people off to say this, people paying people off to say that.
Think about it.
A lot of the movie studios were telling their actors, because some actors that were coming out, like Charlie Chaplin and stuff like that, wanted to come out in like support of him because they didn't think he'd done anything. Yeah. And the studios were saying, don't you fucking dare say anything or there will be consequences.
Think about this. This is a 1920s underground fucking party of fucking celebrities, Hollywood celebrities. You know what I mean? They all got a shit ton of money. They're drinking illegal booze, taking all kinds of drugs. There's a lot of them. There isn't even there's not really any privacy to speak of. There's no rape going to go down in there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it didn't happen because it did, but I'm just saying
he didn't rape her.
In this case, I don't even think
he didn't rape her.
I think he just found her in the bathroom and was like, "Hey, you all right?" and put her on the bed and then left.
There were witnesses that said that.
Yeah, I think that's all that happened.
I
don't think he had anything to do with anything.
No, I don't think so either.
He was on his way out the door. He said he just came in the room like to change his clothes, to take his friend somewhere, to give her a ride someplace. Now, and I think he just found her in there.
She said that he heard him, but that woman was out of her mind with fucking
and it
alcohol.
And this woman too might have had a beef against him because I think that she had actually sent telegrams to attorneys later on that said stuff like, we have Fatty in a hole here, let's make some money off him, shit like that. Like, she would say shit like that. Yeah. So I think she kind of like concocted the story for some reason of her own. Because like I said, most of the other people at the party either didn't see anything or just said, hey, that girl was just here and he was just trying to help her out, and then he left like to give his friend a ride. So I don't know where that all came from.
This whole believe all women when it comes to rape, that doesn't fly. There are women that just proven have lied about it. There was one case that I can think of where guy walks in on his wife. She's in a damn car with a dude having sex with this other dude. All right, it's a white woman. The dude is black. The husband finds her. She tells the husband that he raped her. The black dude. The black dude was her trainer in the gym. Big muscle guy. He actually went to prison. Later on, she divorced that fucking husband. And then came clean, said, no, I just said that to protect my marriage. Sent that dude to fucking prison.
See, that's what I mean. But
for that.
But the thing is about it is I'm really uncomfortable. Yeah. Like, yes, I know shit like that happens. Yes, I know people are terrible and stuff. But I feel like dwelling on the very few times that happens makes it so that people that actually got raped, which is far more common, like, don't want to come forward. Right. So it's like I'm really, really of two minds about that. Like, I don't want innocent people to get accused of anything.
Not all women are honorable.
No, they're not. But the thing about it is that, false rape accusations is maybe like 1 or 2%.
It does happen, though.
It does happen, but it's a very small percentage. So I think that, I mean, in pretty much 99.99% of the cases, or 98% of the cases, you should give the victim the benefit of the doubt, because it's very unlikely. I mean, the false, as far as I know, the false accusations for rape are the same as false accusations for any other crime, which, like I said, is about 2%. So it's not like there's this big wave of like people like falsely accusing people of that kind of shit. So I think that you should always err on the side of believing.
I think most women don't have the balls.
Well, why? It's like it's a terrible thing to do. Right. It's like if you do that, you're a terrible person. I mean, accusing somebody of anything that they didn't do, rape, burglary, whatever, that's a shitty thing to do, and just don't do that. But I'm just saying that, and it makes it worse because when you do that, all the people that did get raped, now no one will believe them because of your stupid ass. Right. So it's like, please do not do anything like that. But yeah, so I feel like this wasn't even the victim that did that. It was just some other woman that got Fatty Arbuckle arrested because she said, hey, I saw him drag my friend or this girl that I knew, like, into the room. As far as I know, Virginia Rapé never said anything about that because she was, like, really sick. And so I don't think all she said reportedly was something like, he hurt me or something like that, which a lot of people have said, well, that could be because of the other guy that, like, put her in the bathtub full of cold water. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It could have been lots of things.
She wasn't able to testify, so you'll never know.
No, yeah, she
could have
was
been
dead.
that might have been hersay.
Right. It's like, yeah, you don't know. Because,
You don't know.
like I said, there was so many people. Everybody been there, like, drinking for, like, 2 or 3 days straight. So you're not really sure, like, what entirely happened. But in this case, I really, really don't think that Fatty Arbuckle did anything. I just think that he found the girl in his bathroom and was like, hey,
Ruined
you all
his
right?
life, though.
Yeah, it pretty much did. Because after that... even though he got acquitted, and the judge even made a point of saying, you know, acquittal's not good enough. It's like, leave the man alone. He didn't do anything. He's totally innocent. You know, the stink of the scandal still surrounded him.
Right. Couldn't get back into
And he
pictures.
really couldn't get back into, I mean, he did work with Buster Keaton because Buster Keaton was kind of like the only one that kind of had the balls to, like, come out, like, against the studios and say, hey, shut the fuck up or whatever.
Right.
And he actually got reprimanded for that by the studio, but he was like, I don't care, he's my friend. So he actually did, and he gave Fatty Arbuckle work later on. And Arbuckle did direct a few movies, like, under a pseudonym, which I think was William Goodrich or something like that. Like, he had a pseudonym that he directed under. But he obviously never regained his... you know, the fame that he had before, even though some of his later movies that Buster Keaton put him in were, like, very successful, because by that point a few years had gone by and people had forgotten about it.
Yeah, to kind of pad that out, that was a fucking terrible what happens when you look at it that way. But this version of Hollywood wasn't going to last much longer anyway. Within a few decades, it had totally changed.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have made the conversion anyway, I don't think. But, you know what I mean? Because more modern Hollywood came, and a lot of the silent actors didn't make the transition. They basically rebooted Hollywood.
Well, yeah, because it's a totally different... I mean, films with sound are a completely different thing than silent films, and a lot of actors did not make that transition successfully.
Yeah, and the producers and everything, and the heads of the studios wanted almost a clean reboot. They wanted all new stars and everything. I think some of the directors made it, but most of the stars didn't make the conversion.
Well, if you're behind the camera, that's different. I mean, the crews and stuff. If you're in front of the camera, though, and even if you look good in the silent films, but then when you talk, you sound like, I talk like this. You know what I mean? It's like no one's going to hire you if you sound like that.
Yeah. They just wanted they wanted a fresh start. The silent film, I liked silent film. I thought it was kind of visual.
I like silent films, actually. I still watch them.
It was they were very the late silent films were very glamorous.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever.
But yeah, so poor Fatty Arbuckle. It's sad because it appeared that his career might have been at the beginning of, like, kind of turning around, because, like, at one point in 1933, he had just had, like, a big meeting with, like, some people, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do this, that, and the other thing, and you know, and I think he had remarried, and that was, like, going really well and stuff. And I think he said something like, oh, this has been, like, the best day of my life or whatever. And then he went home and he died in his sleep.
Damn.
He had a heart attack. He was only 46 years old.
All that weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good. But yeah,
maybe he would have made it. Who knows?
Yeah, it's, you know, there's no way of knowing. You can't
Probably
go
would
back
have made it
in
behind
time.
the camera.
Yeah, and like
yeah.
I said, he was able to direct a few features like under a pseudonym, so like people didn't know. And Buster Keaton did like kind of stand by him, and
he
like,
probably
give him
had
work and
enough.
stuff.
Had he lived, he probably had enough money to stay to become a producer and like be, you know what I mean, stay in the game behind the scenes.
Yeah,
paying for movies to be made.
Yeah,
that kind of shit.
But it's just kind of sad how it just seemed like in this case that there was just one person who either had it out for him or saw something that she misinterpreted.
Right.
And his whole entire career was ruined. And like I said, it not only like ruined his career, but that along with 4 or 5 other scandals that were going on at the same time, that kind of changed Hollywood for a long time. Like Hays Code, like suddenly everything, because before in the movies, kind of anything went. It was a fairly new medium, so you could kind of get away with anything. But after the Hays Code came in, that was the whole married people can't sleep in the same bed. You can't have any kind of like. You can't show anybody's ankles or fucking, I don't even know what it was, but it was just like this really, really draconian, like you can't even show like the flag in a certain way, and it's like they had all these like really weird like fucking
There were some good
shit.
horror movies pre-Hays Code. Go check out Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi's The Black Cat. It was all fucking satanic and shit. There was weird shit going on about fucking stealing people's underage children and fucking, turning women into
like
fucking
I said,
sex slaves.
they got away with a lot of stuff back
sacrificing
then.
fucking whole armies on the damn battlefield so you could build your satanic castle and shit. Go check out The Black Cat. You could probably see it for free on YouTube.
I would imagine. I've seen a lot.
It was
of
an early
movies.
talkie.
Yeah.
It was an early talkie, and it was pre-Hays Code, and I think that might have been one of the movies why they decided that, hey, maybe we should.
Maybe. Like I said, I think it was mostly. Yeah, because I think there was a lot of like decadent shit going on in movies too, but I think it was mostly like decadent shit going on, like actors and stuff. But.
Dude collecting beautiful dead women and putting them in damn fucking clear caskets and hanging them up for display and shit. And fucking, now she's so beautiful. She will never change now. Age cannot touch her. Oh man, that's some weird shit. Yeah, fucking Bella's like, I can't let this stand. You know what I mean? I gotta fucking stop this.
All those fucking movies are great. I love Boris Karloff and Bela.
Didn't have anything to do with Edgar Allan Poe. Nothing to do with it.
Well, I kind of feel like a lot of Edgar Allan Poe adaptations don't have much of anything to do with Edgar Allan Poe. Although I must say, I've always really liked Roger Corman's Edgar Allan Poe adaptations, especially Mask of the Red Death with Vincent Price, which I think is wonderful. But his stories were so short that if you're going to make a movie out of it, you really kind of have to fill out the backstory and stuff. Because, I mean, his stories are essentially like just like a short episode. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, Black Cat with Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff really didn't have anything. It was just an excuse to tell a damn Art Deco satanic movie.
I mean...
That's what it was.
The story, The Black Cat, was just about like a black cat who a guy perceived... was tormenting him, and he walled it up.
Yeah, that's not really in the movie.
Right.
That's not in the movie. A black cat does jump out for a second,
but that's
it. That's it. The rest of it is a post World War I tale.
God damn it! You know what? Maybe I should talk about that on tomorrow's on the Sunday sidetrack show.
What's that?
Is Edgar Allan Poe adaptations?
Okay.
I want to talk about that because I don't think I've ever seen one that adhered to the story all that closely. I mean, Pit and the Pendulum, like Roger Corman's ones, at least you could tell that's what story it was adapted from. But some of the other ones just had the titles Edgar Allan Poe's this and that, and then you'd watch it and be like, that's not what happened in that story.
Well, they had name recognition and you could make a movie. But when you read the story, you were like, man, we can't make a movie out of that. It's kind of like Lovecraft. Some of the Lovecraft stuff is so atmospheric. There's not enough there to damn make a movie.
Poe is the same. It's like they're very different writers, but they're ones that they conjure a picture in your mind, but it's really hard to, because so much of it is like imagination and like world building and stuff. It's kind of hard to like,
and it's kind of narrated and
to
talking
the
about
screen.
It's the move. The stories are narrated. So you know what I mean? It's not quite the same.
Remember we saw that one, I think it's on, I don't remember if it's on Netflix or Shudder or whatever. Remember we saw one's called, I think it's called Extraordinary Tales, and it was like 5 different animators that had done this, and they were different like adaptations of Poe stories, and they were actually pretty faithful adaptations. Like they did Facts in the Case of M. Valdemar, they did Telltale Heart, which I think was my favorite one, and they did like 3 other ones, but I remember liking that quite a bit. It could have been better, but I remember.
The most movieable of all the Lovecraft books would have been In the Mountain of Madness, and they still haven't done that one. That one could be
like
a fucking.
I said, Guillermo del
that
Toro
one is that that one.
one.
He's been saying that shit for fucking how long? 15 years.
Well, development hell is a thing.
I don't fucking believe that shit.
It's a thing.
Oh shit! Sorry.
You need to quit doing that.
I know that. But, I mean, in Mountains of Madness would be on par. That would surpass fucking, like, The Thing in scope. It's just because, you know what I mean? That would be a good movie.
There are, like, more... It seems like there are more Lovecraftian movies than there are movies actually based on Lovecraft stories.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of like a hard thing to adapt. Same with Poe. Like I said, that's a topic. I'm gonna have to write that down. I'm going to talk about Poe adaptations because that's something I was because I was working on a Poe trivia game not too long ago. So I was thinking about movies that were based on Poe stories.
So we done with Fatty? Yeah,
we're done with Fatty. Poor old Fatty Arbuckle.
All right.
You want to take a commercial break,
and
then we'll come back and we'll talk about 3 more cases. We'll talk about George Reeves, Natalie Wood, and Bob Crane.
All right.
When we come back on the second, it's probably going to be like a really long show.
We'll see.
But we'll see how
They're not going anywhere.
That's true. Yeah, it's like no one's got any place to go. So might as well make it as long as possible because we're not going anywhere either. We're just kind of sitting around here on Saturday night recording a show for you guys. So we'll be back in just a few minutes.
So what's little Miss Pookie up to today? Just hanging out? Oh my goodness.
She's like, I don't want to be in this.
Oh, stop scratching. Yeah.
Where are we going? Where are we going? You're a goofball. Oh, she's rubbing against my back. Hey, what you doing? What you doing?
You looking at your little rug? Yeah.
It's not burrito time yet. That's an evening activity. Look at this. She loves feet. She loves feet. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Aw, Cookie. I love your feet, Mama. Look at her little butt.
What was that? That's just a video game. It's okay.
She keeps hearing stuff. You love true crime. I love true crime. And I've spent the last 3 years compiling a series of the most intriguing unsolved murders of the 20th century. It's called The Faceless Villain, and Volume 3 is available now. Featuring such fascinating cases as the Keddy murders, the Carrie Babies case, the Frog Boys, the Alcasar murders, and the Inokashira Park dismemberment incident, The Faceless Villain Volume 3 is an involving exploration of unsolved slaying spanning the years from 1980 to 1999. Pick up your copy in print or ebook formats on Amazon, or download the audiobook version from audible.com, and get ready for a chilling journey through modern crime history. Okay, we have returned on this Crimes of Old Hollywood show.
Yeah, we are here to entertain you during the apocalypse. As the end approaches.
This is like a lot more boring than I thought the apocalypse would be.
You think that should be exciting, wouldn't it?
Nothing like I imagined at all.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting, I don't know, an asteroid strike.
It's all right. I was kind of seeing it like in the way of kind of like something out of Steely Dan or a Donald Fagen song, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all right.
Like your dad listened to Steely Dan, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, fucking that's some gangster music. That these people don't understand that shit. That's like a parallel universe gangster
I like
music.
Steely Dan.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the music my dad liked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people that's like,
I showed some of that shit to Sophie, and she's like, this is like something my dad would listen to.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's a lot younger than us, so
right,
it might have said probably her granddad. But
yeah,
because my dad listened to that.
It's the lyrics. It's the lyrics and the lyrical content that's gangsta. Yeah.
But the thing about it is that sometimes if music is like really old, it goes all the way back around and becomes
comes
like, cool
around. Yeah, right.
I mean, because I still listen to like shit from like, I like old blues music. Mm-hmm. I like fucking rockabilly, like from the 50s and stuff. I like all that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so we're talking about some more crimes. Talked about Fatty Arbuckle before. Talked about William Desmond Taylor, not Dean Taylor, as I kept saying for some reason. Now let's talk about George Superman Reeves.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for old George Reeves because he's forever remembered as the guy who played Superman, even though he really did not enjoy playing Superman.
Yeah, he was a little out of shape, actually, by today's standards.
Well, not by the standards of the day, though.
Not by the standards of those days, but by today's standards, yeah.
Because you have to think that at the time, even though he was wildly successful and everybody knew who he was, everybody watched Superman and stuff like that, but back in those days, like, being on TV, that was like a step down. Like, because he had been in movie, he was in Gone with the Wind, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
He was like one of what's-her-face's like suitors or whatever.
That's right. TV was the YouTube of the day.
Yeah, that was kind of like where you went when you couldn't find like real acting work. Like if you weren't in movies and stuff, and that's how he felt about it.
Little did they know that fucking movies and TV are being destroyed by YouTube.
Well, and the thing about it too is that, I mean, now TV and movies, I think, are almost on an equal footing. It's like nobody has that stigma about, oh, I'm just doing like a TV series anymore, because look at all the TV series that have like done really well, like critically and with audiences and stuff like that. So I don't think there's like a step down in quality anymore. Like I think
they're both on their way out. It's gonna be.
But back in the old days. You know, if you were an actor, you wanted to be in movies. That was how you were like a real actor.
That's where the money was.
If you were just on TV, that was kind of considered like second tier, which, you know, you can see how that was at the time. And it was even like that really up until the 70s or 80s, I think. Because I remember still like having some actors that had that same mentality. Like once they were kind of like has-beens, you'd see them on TV. You know what I mean? So I do see like where that's coming from, so I know where he's coming from. But that's the role that he's most remembered for, unfortunately. But, you know, that's what are you going to do? So the thing about... Okay, so this happened in 1959. June 16th, a phone call comes in to the home of Phyllis Coates, who played Lois Lane on the old Superman show. This phone call came in at about 4:30 in the morning. Now, the woman on the end of the phone was a woman that she recognized. This was a woman named Toni Mannix. Now, Toni Mannix was married, but she had been carrying on an affair with George Reeves for about 10 years. Her husband knew and apparently wasn't all that concerned about it.
He must have had his own thing going on.
I think he had his own thing going. They were a very like high up Hollywood couple, so I think he was kind of like, oh, okay, fair enough.
Right.
Now, I don't think Toni Mannix was in a relationship with him anymore because he was engaged to another woman at this point, but they had been like a thing for like 10 years and they were still friends and whatever. So Toni Mannix calls Phyllis Coates, Lois Lane, and says, the boy is dead. He's been murdered. Now, the boy was what she called George Reeves, and Phyllis Coates knew this. So, freakouts ensued. Right. Now, like I said, George Reeves was very famous for playing Superman. He very famously also did not like playing Superman, although once he figured out that like a lot of kids were super into the show, he was very good about like going to like children's hospitals in the outfit. He had a thing where at the end of each season, like when they changed out the costumes, like they were going to get rid of the costumes, he would cut the S off the costume and he would like send it to a kid like for their birthday or if they were dying or something like that. So he was like really good about doing shit like that, even though I think that he resented playing that character because it was TV and he thought it was a step down. And also he just thought it was a kid's show.
Paying the bills, though.
Which I think it largely was. Yeah, but that's sad. That's what he's remembered for nowadays. Right. That and, the way that he died.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Fuckers are spoiled, aren't they?
Well.
Spoiled as fuck.
It's weird because, like, as a creative person, like, I can understand it. But then in another way, I'm like, quit bitching because you're making like more money than I'll ever see in my whole entire lifetime. Shut up.
And people remember you, and people fucking love your work.
So in some ways, you really kind of have to look at, because some people, like me, like toil away in obscurity and just like barely make enough to get by, and it's like it's like quit your fucking whinging.
See, what it is that they didn't care about what the fans thought; they just cared about what their peers thought. And they'd go to these fucking parties and fucking Hollywood people looking down their noses at him and, oh my God, you play Superman? You know what I mean? And they'd be like, fuck you,
Lame.
bitch. I'm paying the bills. I got fans. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
I can see that.
Yeah, but
I get it.
Thus, YouTube was born. We got our fans.
And that's cool.
Yeah, we got our fans, yeah.
That's what I mean. That's enough for me. Like I said, as long as I have enough to pay the rent and buy food, I'm good.
We don't even deal with any other channels. They got some big ass channels, but we don't deal with them. They're not looking down their noses at us. We don't care.
No.
We just got our own thing. We're doing
I
our
watch
own thing.
other people's channels,
Yeah.
and if I like them, I'll throw them a couple bucks every now and then
That's
because
right.
that's just what you do, man.
They don't throw us any money though.
Well, some of them do, but
Not the other channels.
maybe not the super big.
No, we're
ones,
talking
but,
about the big, super big channels. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't expect them to.
Nah.
Once you get to a certain level,
There's so many
it's
people.
hard to keep track of.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
another thing. I got people constantly trying to talk to me on fucking Facebook. I can't hold conversations with people. There's too many people. You know what I mean? So if I'm just like giving you a thumbs up and going, yeah, okay, I gotta go. Don't be offended.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. And I really try to.
There's a lot of fucking people talking.
I really try to at least like everyone's comments. I try to comment too, but it's like I don't have time to do that to everybody's, even though I would like to. But it's like I don't want anybody to get offended about it because I do.
Yeah, it would be
and we're not even a huge show. We only have
No.
like 8,500 like subscribers or something.
It's
but
still, you guys don't understand. It would be a full-time job just responding to fucking replies. Or just responding.
Well, yeah, I mean,
to
across all
comments.
the platforms, because I
Right.
get stuff in my email, I get stuff in
Right.
the blog, I get stuff on, you know what I mean? So I get stuff like on all the stuff on Instagram and whatever. So it's like, I try to keep track of everything,
Yeah.
but it's hard.
I'll get them on Tom Chitty Movies. I'll get them on Messenger. I get them on Facebook. You know what I mean? And it just, I can't talk to everybody.
Yeah.
Don't be offended.
We only have so many hours.
Right.
And like I said, it's, I'm editing the show, I'm writing books, I'm
Right.
doing graphic design work.
Yeah.
Although I haven't had much graphic design work in the last few weeks because everybody's on lockdown and no one's doing any shows, and that's usually what
Yeah.
I did graphic design for, was like concerts and shit,
Yeah.
and nobody's doing any of
YouTube's
those.
awesome because there's interaction. YouTube is awesome because there's interaction in it, but from our point of view, there can't be unlimited interaction. It'll just it's a full-time job. Just talking to
Everyone
people.
has the same thing. It's like
Right,
you
yeah.
only have so much time in the day, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And it's like, and I work a lot, but
We got to produce stuff.
well, and plus I
Yeah.
still have other shit to do. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes I just want to relax at night. Sometimes I got to do laundry.
Then
Sometimes
there's the books. Then there's
and sometimes I have to do
books.
other things, just like
Right.
around the house. I got to clean and shit
Yeah.
like that. So it's like we have other shit we got to do too.
Right.
So I do try to like keep up with everybody because I know how it feels to like be a big fan of a show and then like they just like act like assholes at you or like ignore you or something. So I know how that feels and that sucks. So I do like try to at least
Yeah.
give you a thumbs up or something like that, like
Right.
just to like, hey, I saw the shit. It's like maybe I'll go
Right.
back and like answer it later on, but it's like I don't have time right now.
And for all the stuff you see there on the damn YouTube comments, there's 10 times that fucking personal going on behind the fucking scenes.
Yeah, that's
a
it.
lot of- a
Well,
lot
because
of
some of
people are
our
fucking
some
hitting
of
us-
our like big
Yeah.
fans that have been with the show are on our personal Facebook.
Right. So we're talking to them.
So
too.
we'll talk to them like
Right.
on our personal messengers
Yeah.
on Facebook as well.
And I'll be fucking with Rob sometimes for hours on end.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, I'll fuck with Rob.
Because he sends us a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
He's a filmmaker.
Yeah.
In case you guys didn't know, he had made a movie
Yeah.
called Outlaw, which is awesome.
And I gotta bust Rob's balls because he's up in New York. I gotta bust his fucking balls. You know what I mean? I have fun with Rob. I love you, bitch. All right, but I gotta fuck with you. That's what I do. All right, and then
That's
we
his
talk
thing.
Sophie's personal friends. Then we got personal
Sophie
friends.
stayed at our house one
She
time
stayed at our house one time
for
so
several days.
She'll be back up.
That was a lot of fun. She's like,
Yeah, she'll be
she's
back
fucking,
up.
She's fucking awesome.
She's welcome to come back.
Yeah, she can stay here anytime.
And then there's just other. And then I gotta talk to Jair
Yeah.
down in Tijuana. And then I talk to some people up in fucking Czech Republic sometimes. You know what I mean? So there's no telling.
We're trying to keep track of everybody. We really
try to keep
hard.
track of everybody.
But it's hard. I'm only
got-
one person. My memory's good, but
Yeah.
not that good. I'm
And
getting old.
And I got my feelers out there on a damn global level, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on with fucking Corona and all kinds of stuff. Because I also got friends on there who are in the muscle scene and also in the fucking military scene, which I don't even talk about that too much during the show. But a lot of veterans, and then a lot of people in the medical, like a lot of nurses, because the nurses are keeping me abreast of how shit's going with the Corona. We'll
The
see.
Corona.
My Corona.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what song? I kind of love that song. For a
Yeah.
while, I had it on my phone, and like every now and then it would come on while I was out on my power walk, and I'd be like, yeah,
It's about tearing up underage girls.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny because you don't really think about it, like, at
Yeah.
the time that it came out. But now that I'm, like, walking, I'm listening to lyrics, I'm like, man, this is kind of messed up.
Yeah, well, in the 70s, it was all right to tear up underage girls.
Yeah,
they
no one
weren't-
batted an eye.
They didn't even bat an eye.
Fair
Well,
enough.
you know, she's only 16, you know.
Whatever.
It's not like she's a little kid.
Yeah.
You know, no. That's what they used to think back then.
Yeah, that's, hey, man, you were fair game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so...
You were on the menu.
on the menu.
Yeah.
So, what were we talking about? George Reeves, yeah.
George
so,
Reeves.
the night that he died, George Reeves is at home with the woman who was his fiancée at the time, whose name was Lenore Lemon, who had kind of a reputation of being... I'm not sure what her reputation was. Like, a lot of people thought that she was kind of... I don't know if a ball buster is the right word, but she seemed like kind of mean, abrasive, something like that. So, but he was completely smitten with her. So she was there. There was also a writer there named Robert Condon, who was like their lodger. He was like staying with them or whatever. They were kind of having a little bit of party. Like a couple of their neighbors came over on this particular night. Now, I think George Reeves had gone to bed early, or he'd been drinking really earlier on in the evening and was kind of messed up, because later on about 1 a.m., like when his fiance and his house guests and stuff like that were all kind of down there. I guess they were like making a lot of noise. So apparently he stops downstairs and is like, hey, can you guys like fucking keep it down? Because people are trying to sleep in here or whatever. And apparently, according to the other witnesses, and this is pretty weird. So according to the other witnesses, George Reeves comes down and yells at them for presumably making too much noise. And he goes back up to his room. And then his fiancée, Lenore, starts telling the other people in the house like some weird shit, like he's going upstairs to shoot himself. That's what apparently she said, according to them. And she said that they said that she provided like running commentary, like they could hear noise upstairs. It's like, oh, he's opening the drawer, he's getting the gun out, and then there was a gunshot, and then she's like, look, he did it.
Damn.
I don't know, like, I'm presuming they were all drinking, so maybe
Right.
it was kind of going in that direction,
Yeah.
but whatever. So they go upstairs, and it appears that he has shot himself, or that's how the story goes anyway.
Now look, for you people who think that shit doesn't happen, it does happen. A friend of mine did that.
Yeah, and...
Rich Campbell, friend of mine up in Boston, got into a fight with his girlfriend over the goddamn volume of the fucking television during the Excalibur fucking... movie Excalibur. Remember Excalibur? We saw that shit.
We did a review of it a long time
And he goes, and he even mentioned me, because that's how I heard the story. He's like, fuck you, bitch, you don't know any honor. And he goes, fucking, you could never compare. But he put on his fucking army fucking jacket and shit and everything, and put a .38 pistol to his fucking head and fucking pulled the trigger right in front of his girlfriend.
That's the thing. It's like, I don't know. Like, I know there's a lot of controversy about George Reeves and whether he killed himself or whether somebody else killed him. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I will say that depending on what your state of mind is, I can see a person getting so drunk that they're just like, man, fuck this. And they're not even really thinking it through all the way.
Yeah, Rich didn't mean it. Not only was he drunk at the time, he was a junkie. Okay.
Yeah, see, so...
He was a cool junkie, though. I didn't even know he was fucking junkie.
Yeah.
Okay, he kept the shit low. And he was a lot older than me, 15 years older than me, I told you about Eric, the guy from the, you guys, if you're regular listeners, know who Eric is. He lived with me down in Boston.
In that haunted house that we talked about the other day.
Yeah. So me and Eric knew him. He was a cool dude. He was a fashion model and shit. Fucking, I got some pictures of him fucking when he was back in the early 80s in the punk rock scene. Modeling clothes and shit. But, I don't know. Yeah. He didn't mean it. He was just fucking inebriated at the time, and his life didn't go the way it was supposed to go, and she kept fucking with the damn volume of the television, and she was fucking 20 years younger than him. She was cute, but she was just another junkie, and it just...
I could see how that would...
Don't fuck with that heroin.
Well, and I could see that happen too. Like I said, if you were drunk enough, and if you got in a fight about it, and if something pissed you off enough...
Yeah.
I could see how you would just fuck it without really thinking about what you were doing. Because that's the thing about being super drunk is you're kind of like not.
What happened to Rich is probably what happened to him. There's a bigger overarching issue. Your life didn't go the way you wanted it to.
Yeah.
You were already thinking about fucking ending it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can tell you one thing. In Rich's case, fucking he overreacted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fucking, and it was a thing in the heat of the moment. You know,
but like I said, I can totally see how that would happen.
I mean, he was at that time late 40s. He didn't look it.
Yeah.
All his girlfriends were in their fucking 20s, and they were all like fucking hotties from the scene. What does this motherfucker have to complain about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's the thing, though. It's like you can't really. It's hard to look at someone from the outside and. It seems like they have everything. And It's like, what the hell have you got to complain about? But you don't know what the fuck issues are going on behind the scenes or like inside their heads or anything like that.
It just life didn't turn out the way he thought it was going to. I guess. You know?
And that they might have other problems that you don't know about too.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you never really know what's going on in someone else's head.
And after he died, I helped his brother fucking clean that place out, and we found the damn cat frozen in the damn in the freezer. And I was like, what the hell, man? The cat was for his cat.
What, was he going to bury it later?
What the deal was, we finally tracked down the ex and asked her, why was the fucking cat in the freezer? And she said, oh, the cat died. And he wanted to bury the cat. But
the ground was frozen.
The ground was frozen.
Yeah. I've heard of that happening.
Yeah, the ground was frozen. So he wrapped it up in a garbage bag.
Yeah.
And sealed everything up.
I get that.
And he was, I was like, what the hell is this, man? And opened up his damn frozen cat.
Ah!
Well, it was in a clear bag. And I was like, oh, okay, that's that cat.
Oh.
He had a new cat that took its place.
I would never get over that, I don't think.
Nah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as that girl's head.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you found all those, like, cut-up people on the bus, so...
Well, so remember, they threw me the head in the bag, you know. That was fucking... Nice. That's another story. Yeah.
Have you told that story in the show?
I don't think I've ever told this story
I remember you telling it a few times at, that horror convention.
When I was
that stopped everybody in their tracks,
when I was in the 101st Airborne... When I was at the 101st Airborne Division, me and my buddies were at South Camp doing the MFO mission, and we got sent out on a damn crash rescue mission. A civilian bus had been sideswiped by a fucking tractor trailer carrying a fucking bulldozer, nice. And the bulldozer blade went down and just fucking killed a bunch of people inside the tractor, inside the bus. Yeah. It was out in the middle of Sinai Desert. It was dark as fuck. No street lights or anything. And we're there with flashlights, and we're going through the crash system. We were taking turns going in there, pulling dead people out. There was about 17 of them, I think. And one of them was this hot girl from Israel.
That's pretty messed up, like saying she's...
Yeah, I didn't see the head. The head was gone, but the fucking... Her body, she had a.
She didn't have a head, but man, her body was awesome.
Well, I saw her ID because it was on the ID was on the body. Later on, Later on, my boy, what was his name? Goes, hey, Ross, here's your girlfriend. He fucking threw this he threw me the damn plastic bag, and fucking there was the head. It just looked like a damn fucking crushed fucking skull with a. It was in that clear plastic bag. It looked like a wig with a bunch of teeth and fucking bone in it.
You guys are so callous.
And I was like, you guys are fucking assholes. And then I had to ride in the back of the damn truck with all the body bags.
Why'd they make you ride back there? What'd you do?
Keep them from falling out. No, it was just random.
Oh, okay.
Keep them from all falling out. I was fucking... It was right out of a horror movie, but that was just the way... That was the job description.
I mean, I will say
that was the job description.
It seems fucked up and insensitive, but we've kind of talked about this in the show before.
It's just paramedic works. Well, that's what paramedics do.
No, and I'm saying, too, that... No, I was talking about, like, them throwing you the head and everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes in situations like that are just so, like, fucked up that they're almost, like, surreal.
It seemed normal at the time.
Well, you almost kind of have to, like, revert to humor because
we were laughing.
How the fuck else are you going to deal with it?
We were kind of laughing about it, you know what I mean? There's no other way. But
that's what I mean. That's why I don't get offended by...
Here's the thing. Friend of mine I grew up with, fucking, you know, he runs a whole paramedic company. A whole company of paramedics in Detroit. Michael.
Yeah.
Michael was one of my best friends. We went to high school together when I was in Detroit. And we've known each other forever. Soft as butter. He did that same job.
Yeah.
He did that same job. And it's just being around dead people.
You have to detach.
Yeah, it's just being around dead people, and it's not that bad.
Yeah, once you get used to it.
Yeah.
Well, you
So
have
it's
to
just the
think
same
about it
thing.
in a particular way because you have to deal with it. It's your job.
They are not there.
That's what I
They're
mean.
not
It's
there.
not them anymore.
It's not them anymore.
So you just have to think of it as like an object.
It's just the remains.
Which I would probably do the same.
It's just the remains.
And like I said, I can see why. Like I said, I can see why people complain, and I think I mentioned this on the last show or the one before, where every now and then I'll get a complaint. It's like, oh, you guys are making jokes about blah blah, like about a true crime case or something.
You can't take it that seriously.
You can't. It's not so much not taking it seriously. It's just that some things in life are just like so horrific that you have to like joke about it to like distance yourself from, just because it's like it's so horrible.
You have to back off of this shit.
Yeah.
And look at it from a higher dimensional plane. We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
None of us are getting out of this.
Hopefully none of us in a horrible way like that.
Yeah, none of us are getting out of this bitch alive. Okay? Eventually we all die. It's just a part of life. Yeah, some people are taken out too early. Some people went really bad. Like these little kids tortured by these fucking maniacs. I would kill that motherfucker if I could get my hands on him.
Well, yeah, I know. Most people would.
But those people that died up in that bus, even though that shit was fucking gruesome and the fucking smell of it and everything, it was an accident. There wasn't any malice behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
So
hopefully most of them didn't suffer. I mean, I would hope that they
from
didn't.
the injuries, it looked like it was instant.
I would hope so.
And that particular girl that I remember the most, her head was leaned up against the window, and that fucking blade went down that window.
Yeah.
That's why it took her head.
It just took her head off.
It didn't really take it off. It crushed it off or smashed it off, you know.
So she probably
was asleep.
didn't know what hit her.
I think she was.
I hope she didn't.
I think she was asleep with her head up against the glass. I think.
Yikes.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back.
That's the only thing you can hope is just that.
I think she was
if
asleep.
they didn't know.
Yeah.
I hope they didn't know. But yeah, so. All right, so the cops show up. Now, they kind of, like, the other people said, well, Lenore said some weird shit about, oh, he's going upstairs to kill himself and stuff. And she said, oh, I was just kidding. Which, you know, that's kind of like the thing that people say when they say some fucked up shit and then they get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I was just joking. Like, chill out. So I kind of feel like she did that. So they find George Reeves. He's upstairs. He's on his bed. There's a Luger between his feet, like laying on the floor between his feet, and there's a bullet hole in his head. It looks as though he had been sitting on his bed and just put the gun on the side of his head and shot himself. However, there were some other mitigating circumstances that made people over the years believe that maybe somebody else was involved. One of these things was the presence of, I believe, 5 other bullet holes in various walls around the room.
That doesn't mean anything.
Which, it might not.
Yeah.
Might not.
Sounds like he might have been a kind of guy to just shoot at a damn wall. I mean, Elvis used to do it all the damn time.
You shot a TV.
Pow, pow. I accidentally touched one off when I was a little kid.
Did
Not
you
a little
really?
kid, but after I got out, I guess I was in my 20s after I got out of the Army. I accidentally touched off a fucking 45 round out of a 1911. Fucking went
What
right
did you
through
hit?
It just hit the damn wall.
Oh.
I was
Good thing no one was standing there.
I was quick drawn. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and I had my headphones on. I was jamming out the fucking
It's like,
metal
yeah.
bit. Bam, bam. You know what I mean? And I forgot that I'd accidentally reloaded it.
Whoop.
And fucking, was jamming out and picked it up and fucking was pointed at the damn little birdie in the damn pitcher and pulled the trigger. Boom! And touched one off on the wall. I was probably about 24.
And this is why I
Yeah.
try not to sneak up on you in the
Yeah,
middle
no,
of the day.
I was young, you know what I mean? I was young, I had my
Because
headphones
you never
on.
know.
Well, what the deal was, like, since I had my headphones on, when I racked that slide, I didn't hear a round go into the chamber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you were listening
I forgot
to
that I
Iron
popped the
Maiden
magazine
and some shit.
into it, shit happens when you're in the 20s.
That is very irresponsible. Very irresponsible.
Blew that bird away, though. Bird in the damn pitcher. Shot right through the glass of the fucking pitcher.
Whoops.
That was Mississippi shit,
Yeah.
That's how that shit happens.
So, okay. So, George Reeves' death was initially considered a suicide. However, several people, including his mother, said that he would never do that. And so they started hiring other lawyers, private investigators, stuff like that to prove that he had been murdered because there were several other people in the house at the time. It should be noted that the police had not checked George Reeves' fingers for residue to see if he pulled the trigger. They
wouldn't have found anything anyway.
They didn't count the number of bullets that remained in the gun.
They didn't count it?
No, they apparently did not.
Okay.
Like I said, cops.
These guys were fucked up back then.
Cops.
The residue on the hands, that's all bullshit. They could never really find that anyway. Very rare.
Yeah, there weren't. As far as I know, there weren't like any powder burns or anything like that.
Well, you don't get powder burns from fucking.
Yeah, so
around.
I don't know if you
Powder
guys have
burns
seen the movie. There's a really good movie called Hollywoodland. I think I saw it in the theater. Ben Affleck plays George Reeves of all people, but it's actually like a really good movie. It's kind of like, because it's a movie, it's going into like maybe it was like a conspiracy and maybe like some people killed, because there were like some people that would have wanted him dead, presumably. This one I'm not super sure. It does seem like
this is 60s.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I believe it was, or
right.
1959.
59.
It was 1959.
Okay.
1959. But some people have speculated that his fiancée, Lenore, might have shot him, which doesn't seem that far-fetched to me, because from everyone that knew her, she did seem like a little bit of a crazy person. And it might have been the case that even though they were engaged, he was kind of like maybe wanting to break stuff off, and maybe there was some kind of argument that night. Maybe there was some kind of shit going on and she had like shot him and stuff. I'm not really sure about this one. I kind of feel like it could go either way. Like Phyllis Coates, I saw a documentary about this. They did do you remember that show? I can't remember what the name of it was. Mysteries and Scandals, maybe. And that guy, AJ Benza, that used to host it, that was like, they made him look like a gangster or something. And he talked like a gangster. I think it was on A&E or something. And he did a show about this. And they were talking to Phyllis Coates, who played Lois Lane on the Superman show. And she was like, she just like did not believe. She was like, I don't think he would have killed himself because, yes, he didn't like playing the Superman role. Yes, he was bummed out about it. But we were talking about, like, doing, like, he had written a script, like, for a sci-fi movie. And he was talking to me about it. And we were talking about, like, finding funding for it. And he was, like, really excited. So she didn't think that he would have killed himself just because they had something to look forward to. Now, like I said, that doesn't necessarily mean... Yeah, I mean, if he was drunk, you're not thinking straight when you're drunk.
It's something at the heat of the moment.
Yeah, and it's like, if you're depressed about other shit... Because, like I said, he was, reportedly not happy about having to play Superman, and he was kind of, like, bummed out about, his career wasn't going the way he wanted it to go. So he might have, like, just drunk too much that night and then thought...
Well, I can tell you one thing is that Rich, before he killed himself, was making plans.
Yeah.
We'll do this. And that. It doesn't mean anything.
That's what I'm saying.
They kill themselves
I feel like
usually at the heat of the
doesn't...
moment. It's something takes over.
Particularly
where
drinking involved.
Yeah.
I think where drinking is involved.
Yeah. It shuts all that down.
It doesn't have anything to do with like future plans or anything like that. It's just how you feel in the moment.
At that moment.
Like I said, I've been really drunk and like thought about like fucked up shit that was just something that.
And
was
we
going
all
on
agree. We all agreed that fucking Rich fucking would have regretted that shit.
Yeah, had he been around to regret it.
To regret it, he'd be like, "Oh shit, that was dumb." Yeah. So we didn't take it that seriously, or then in terms of like the meaning behind it. Yeah. We didn't take it seriously.
Because sometimes,
it was more like an accident.
Like I said, I hate to say it. In a way, it is almost like an accident. Because when you're that inebriated, and if you already... Like, I'm not saying you have to be, like, clinically depressed or anything like that. But if you already have some, like, disappointments in your life. You already have some like shit where it's like, oh, I wish things had gone like this, that, and the other. And then you get like super fucked up and you get like, you know, maybe you get in a fight with somebody or you get something like that. It's like, it's very, very easy.
Rich would have been like, fuck, why did I do that?
Yeah. It's very, very easy to be like, well, you know, nothing like I wanted is ever going to happen. Like, you know, it's easy to get like that if you already have that frame of mind.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want to attribute this to murder or not. It's possible. I mean, he did have people like, and some people have said, well, he was having an affair with Tony Maddox. Maybe her husband like had him bumped off. Even though I think the husband knew about it because they had an affair for like 10 years, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And I think he knew about it.
Yeah.
And didn't say anything. Because I think he was just kind of like, that's how shit goes.
Yeah.
It's George Reeves.
Right.
It's Superman. Go sleep with Superman. That's all right.
Go sleep with Superman?
Yeah, I guess.
Damn.
And it's like, so I guess he wasn't bothered by it. But some people have speculated that maybe he like didn't like it and he was like, bumped it. Or maybe she hired somebody to do it because he had dumped her, Tony Maddox, and was, you know, marrying this other chick. So maybe she was like, hey, go bump that dude off because I don't want to see like some other woman marrying him, which is possible.
I think they're making too much of it. Based on my personal experience with dudes that fucking off themselves in the heat of the moment, he was pissed off at that time, not feeling good, plugged himself, and fucking... normally he would have regretted it, but he's probably fucking drinking.
I'm kind of leaning towards
probably what it was.
I'm kind of... Because, like I said, a lot of people have said that...
Plugged himself with a fine-ass pistol, fucking P08 Luger. Damn. Probably using the old original load too.
You have to kill yourself. That's the one to do it with.
That was a fucking classy pistol.
That's a messed
I know
up
a lot
thing
of
to say.
what's that?
That's a messed up thing to
The
say.
fucking classy pistol,
What
man.
I said, I mean.
Shooting that old retro 9mm load that I think it was 88 grain bullet, fucking little rounded. No, it wasn't even pointed back then. It was just rounded, like a little 9mm Makarov round. It's just you guys don't know what I'm talking about.
He acts like it's a lady.
It's like a little. I love classic firearms. I like new firearms, but
he does. He watches. What's that channel you watch all the time? That's that guy that
One.
works at that auction house.
Oh shit! Fucking Forgotten Weapons.
Forgotten Weapon.
Yeah.
I like that. His
Forgotten
voice is kind of soothing.
He's involved. He's actually. He works with a company that fucking is like an auctioning house for classic
that's
weapons.
what the auction house guy.
It's an auction house, guys. Yeah, fucking I forgot his name, but because I'm drunk right now, but I normally. But he's just a cool dude. He knows. He's a young guy.
And he just sits there and he talks very like.
Yeah, tell you about the
he's like,
history.
and then this is when he talks about all the history that. And I don't even care about guns really, but it's like it's interesting just hearing him like talk about the history.
Yeah, if you want, guys, if you want a good education, subscribe to fucking Forgotten Weapons on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good, it's a decent channel.
Yeah, and he'll tell you everything where it began. Even fucking, he even did one on the Mac-10. That was Krussel's weapon. Krussel's official weapon from fucking Escape from New York.
Yeah.
I had one. I had an Ingram Mac-10, not a Cobra, but an Ingram, fucking 9mm one, not a 45, but not really a good weapon, but fucking cool, just cool. It was just
cool, but not good.
Nah, not really good, but cool, very cool.
Because those are two completely different things.
Completely different. Cool. They're not very cool.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that's kind of the same with everything: cars,
Yeah.
music, movies.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a big difference between cool
and good.
And good.
Well, there was a reason why Mac-10 were in movies because they just fucking looked cool.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing. It's just because something looks good
doesn't mean it's any good.
Doesn't mean it's any good. Like, effectively.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the George Reeves case, even though I kind of feel like there's, and you know, I'm not saying that it's not possible that he was murdered, and I'm not saying that it's not possible that his fiancée, Lenora Lemon, wasn't responsible for that shit. She could have shot him, sure. I kind of feel like this was a situation where everyone was there, everyone was drinking, he drank too much, and then started, like, dwelling on shit that he was upset about, and then said, man, fuck this shit. And then he just did it without thinking about it.
I think that's what happened.
I kind of feel like maybe that's what happened. I mean, like I said, I know everybody likes to, like, add all this fucking shit to make shit more mysterious and stuff, but I do...
It's usually dumb shit that's the truth.
It is.
Yeah.
Sadly enough. And it's sad because it seems like people got really upset because, the Superman show was like really popular with kids and everything. And then the big headline in the newspapers like the next day was like Superman commits suicide or something, whatever the fuck they said.
Right.
And can you imagine like being a little kid and that was like your idol?
Yeah.
Superman, he's supposed to be like immune to bullets and stuff like that. And he fucking shot himself in the head. Can you imagine? So it's like, I can see why stories about maybe somebody else killed him kind of maybe came to the fore because no one wants to believe that Superman fucking just got depressed and blew his head off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
it's a bad situation. I mean, but
I'm not saying. I just kind of feel I'm leaning toward that's what happened.
Like I said before, I'm gonna tell the audience. I've been in that situation. I've known guys that have done that. It's an accident. They actually didn't mean it. They were in a moment of weakness. They were fucking high or they were drinking, and they made a stupid fucking decision based upon a feeling they had at that particular moment.
Yeah.
10 minutes later, they would have fucking gone, no, I ain't gonna do that.
Because, like I said, when you're drunk enough, dumb shit seems like a good idea.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And if you're inclined to depression or if you're inclined to, like, self-pity or something like that, then it's very easy to be like, get super drunk and be like, well, no one's ever going to love me, nothing's ever going to work out.
Yeah.
And to just do that in the heat of the... without really thinking about it because you're not thinking about long-term consequences.
Well, Rich did it not only because of that, but also because the girlfriend was right there and he was trying to grandstand.
Yeah.
So ego was also in there.
Yeah.
I will pull the trigger.
And he did.
And he did. But the motherfucker was drunk. What the fuck are you doing, dude? Put down the fucking gun.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But
I got his shit, though. I got some of his shit to this day. I got pictures of him.
Yeah.
Took that shit off the wall. His brother said, go ahead, take it. His brother came and we fucking sit there and fucking divvied up all the shit. And his brother took his job after that. Because he he was a maintenance man. He was a maintenance man fucking for a big building on Commonwealth Ave in downtown Detroit, Boston.
Yeah.
So he was so he got free rent. And then $1,000 a month.
Damn. I'll take that.
In this fucking badass building.
I'll clean up some shit.
And he's like, he was maybe 50 at the time. Rent. And goth dude with these, old school goth dude with these fucking hot goth chicks in their 20s. They're all junkies.
They're all hangers on.
They're all junkies.
You got drugs?
Well, once they enter
we're not all on drugs, I promise.
Not us, but once they get into that junkie world, it's junkie on junkie. See? So it's like it's
well,
like,
because you're always looking for the person
looking for other junkies. So
sure.
he was.
I get that.
So he was like, the Brad Pitt of the fucking goth junkie world at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had everything going for him. He had to go fix sinks and fucking fix shit here and there.
That's not that big a deal, though.
Free
rent and $1,000 a month. Shit, I would do quite a bit.
Yeah, and the girl he was living with in that fucking apartment, she was hot. Fuck's he talking about? Fighting over the damn volume of the television. Dumbass.
Every now and then, little shit just pisses you off.
Yeah.
I get that. I get it.
And he wasn't, to answer anybody's question out there, he wasn't a shooting junkie. He was a snorting junkie. So I didn't know.
Not so many of those.
Yeah, I didn't know. He was hiding it from me, although I didn't go hang out with him all the time. But I'd known him for at least 4 years.
Because I do feel like, he
hid it. I just thought he was a fucking...
Heroin addicts are like... That's kind of like a hard thing to hide, but... Yeah. It's only a hard thing to hide if you're like injecting the shit.
He wasn't injecting.
People see the shit on your arms.
He was snorting it. He was snorting it.
Well, maybe you could hide that longer.
Only thing that stuck out to me is that, goddamn, this dude can drink a lot of fucking booze.
Yeah, but a lot of people can.
He could drink a whole fucking fifth and remain fucking sober.
My brother could, and he wasn't a heroin addict. That dude could drink, man. Holy crap.
Okay, well, he could drink a whole fucking fifth and remain fucking coherent. And fucking, he'd have women hanging all over him. And then that motherfucker would fucking nod off a little bit, and he'd wake back up. And I don't know, I was young at that time, young and naive. I couldn't see it. I guess I couldn't see it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Well, it's not like we hang out with a lot of drug addicts, so it's not like I really know.
Well, if we do, we don't know what drugs
Well, that's what
doing.
I mean. If we are hanging out with drug addicts, they're good. They're good enough at it that we don't notice.
Yeah.
because they just seem normal.
Well, nowadays, what they're taking doesn't fucking fuck them up as bad.
Yeah,
as what
it doesn't
heroin
mess you up in the sense
Heroin
that...
mess you up pretty bad.
Yeah, I do feel like heroin addicts just kind of sleep a lot.
Yeah, they're not out.
Which maybe contributes to them. I
Right.
feel like heroin addicts, they either die really young or they live forever.
Rich was like
and
that.
look really good forever.
Rich was like that. He was like a vampire. I didn't realize he was like in his 50s. I was
That's
still
what I'm
in
saying.
I was still in my 20s at that time. And I thought he was about my age.
See, look at
Yeah.
like Nick Cave or Iggy Pop or
Yeah.
something like that. It's like, they look like older, but they don't look like
They don't
as
look
old
that old
as they are.
Yeah, I'm saying 50. Oh, that motherfucker said, damn. I mean, I'm 50 now, but 50. Oh, that motherfucker.
But then there's a lot of heroin addicts that died in their 20s.
Right, yeah.
But the ones that survived it and
Yeah.
like kind of got over it and don't really do it anymore, I
Yeah.
feel like it kind of like preserves you.
He knew a lot of famous people too. Like he knew fucking Steven Tyler from Aerosmith and fucking
Yeah.
all the old, because they were the old Boston bands.
Yeah.
He knew all those people.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Steven was in that shit too for a while.
yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody was at that
Yeah.
time period.
Right.
Like everybody that was in the music scene was kind of like
Right.
a heroin addict or whatever.
Right.
So the next case I want to talk about is the very famous case of Bob Crane. Now, several people have requested that we do a show on this, and I had been wanting to do this. I wrote about Bob Crane in one of my Faceless Villain volumes.
If you don't know who Bob Crane is, that was the dude from Hogan's Heroes.
Hogan's Heroes.
He was kind of a good-looking guy.
He was a good-looking guy.
Yeah. He kind of looked like Robert Conrad to me.
Yeah, Tad.
They're
Now that you're
they're real close.
mentioning it.
But he kind of came across as a good guy, but turns out this motherfucker was like, you wanted to keep him away from your wife. He'd make porn in a heartbeat with your wife. We're gonna get to that.
He was a porn aficionado.
Yeah.
Let's call it that. And no judgment.
Yeah.
No judgment. As far as I know, and according to everyone that knew him, yes, he made a lot of porn in a day before anyone really did that.
Yeah.
But
he was ahead of the curve.
apparently it was all consensual. Like, I don't think, like, he had to, like, rape anyone or drug anyone
Right.
or anything like that. According to his family and his friends and everyone that knew him, they said everybody that, I don't know, there's kind of some gray area there because he did, like, record some sexual encounters with women, and I'm not entirely sure whether they knew that that was happening or not, which, if they didn't know, then that's not cool. Don't do that. But, I don't know. Like, according to his friends and family, they said it was all consensual, and
Now, was he in the porn? You could see it was him?
yes.
You could, yeah? I guess he wasn't
It
afraid.
was for his own. He wasn't selling
wasn't
it or
selling it?
anything.
Okay.
It was just for his own edification, and
Okay.
I believe to like trade with a few of his other porn aficionado friends.
All
I
right.
think it was just kind of like on the DL. It wasn't
Right,
like
yeah.
nowadays like I'm gonna make some porn by giving them like
Sell
upload
it,
it so the
right,
whole
yeah.
fucking world
Right,
can see
yeah.
it. It wasn't like that. It was like
Okay.
back in the you had to have like camera equipment. and
'Cause
shit.
I didn't really know the details. I thought maybe he was selling it.
I don't think he was. I think it was just like circulating among a few friends.
Right.
Now, like I said, there's some issues. I don't know if everyone.
Now, the
that
girls
was
that he
in-
was getting, were they porn stars, or were they just random women that he was paying to be in the porn star?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they were porn stars or if they were just women that he was sleeping with that were either okay with him recording them
Okay.
and other people seeing it, or didn't know that he
All
was
right.
recording. So it's like, I don't know. There's some gray
Okay.
area there. So like I said, he might be, like I said, if everybody knew what was going on, that's
Yeah.
cool. You do you. If some of the people did not know what was going on, then that is not cool.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that it's cool that he got murdered, because he
Right.
did, but that's still not cool.
Yeah, what happened? Tell us.
So let's go back to June 29th, 1978. This was in Scottsdale, Arizona, at a hotel room. So one of the apartment complexes in Scottsdale, Arizona, somebody calls, and this is a woman who is an actress and who was a friend of Bob Crane's, and who had gone into his apartment, or had an appointment with him that day, and he hadn't turned up. They were supposed to have lunch together. They were working on a play together, whatever. So the cops go into the apartment and find a dead body.
Yeah.
Now, the body is, he was at the time 49 years old. They find him lying in his bed with 2 big gashes above his left ear and an electrical cord tied around his neck.
Damn.
Now, at the time, like, the way he was laying, and this is, like, messed up, but the way he was laying, like, the one side of his face that you could see was, like, so fucked up. Like, somebody had clearly, like, beat the shit out of this person's face. Like, they were not recognizable. So, the cops didn't know who it was at first. There was blood all over the room. The fucking pillow was red. There was, like, blood all over the walls and everything, as there would be if you had, like, beaten someone to death, as he apparently had been. So, since they found out that this apartment was rented to the Windmill Dinner Theater, they called them up and said, hey, somebody that's in one of your rented apartments is dead, so you want to come over here and check out who this is. So, the manager of the theater, Ed Beck, comes over, and he said later on that he's like, okay, well, when I first saw the body at first, he's like, I had no idea who it was because it was just like a red mush, essentially. But when they turned the head around, he immediately recognized him as Bob Crane. Now, at this point, this is in 1978, Bob Crane's stardom was kind of behind him. I mean, obviously everyone knows him from Hogan's Heroes, which made him a huge star, like all across the United States. I don't know how popular he was around the world. I don't know if they showed that show in other countries or whatever. But in the U.S., he was a household name. Everybody knew who he was. But by 1978, it kind of seemed like he had degenerated in his career a little bit to the point where he was now doing like dinner theater tours, like around
in
the
other
country.
words, he was like below Hollywood Squares level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, that's kind of sad to say,
Yeah.
but yeah, once you were to like touring with dinner theater.
Yeah, you were down there at the bottom. You couldn't even be on Hollywood Square.
Hollywood Square.
For you young people who don't know who Hollywood Square is, it was a game show.
Yeah.
And Hollywood Squares was a fun fucking game show.
I used to like watching Hollywood Squares. Well, because half of the celebrities on there were drunk as shit.
They were drunk as fuck, and they were fucking being hilarious. What was gay dude? Gay dude that was
Paul Lynde.
Paul Lynde.
He was always center square.
That motherfucker.
They made him center square because he was the funniest.
He was the
obviously.
funniest one. That
He was
motherfucker
awesome.
made Hollywood Squares.
He did.
Paul Lynde was a fucking king. He was a fucking king. That dude was hilarious.
He's a fucking legend. That dude was a legend.
Dude was a whole legend.
Also, trivia.
Yeah.
If you guys saw the kids movie Charlotte's Web, Paul Lynde did the voice of the rat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you guys saw Charlotte's Web, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so he was always the center square, and he was like, he's clearly the highlight.
That's
of
gay
that.
history for you people.
Yeah.
Paul Lynde, that motherfucker was fucking. He was the king of all gays.
It's funny though because back in the day, like I was a kid when that show was on, and I used to always watch it. I loved Hollywood Squares.
Yeah.
But it's like you didn't really think of it as like, I don't know, you didn't really think of it as gay. You just thought
it didn't matter back then. It didn't matter.
That's what I mean. It wasn't really something that bothered you or occurred to you or something. It's like that's just the way that dude is.
It was cool back then. See. Now it's not cool because they got to make some kind of statement about it as if it is a thing. Back then it wasn't a thing. It was just fucking Paul Lynde.
Well, it was a thing, but you couldn't.
But that's just
tell
what
anybody.
That's just what it was. But everybody knew. Everybody fucking knew.
Everybody
fucking knew.
I don't know if everybody knew.
I think everybody with half a fucking brain knew. Although I'll tell you one thing though, fucking a lot of women didn't understand that Liberace was gay. That blows my fucking mind.
Which I don't understand that.
Even Evel Knievel knew Liberace was gay.
Everybody knew Liberace was gay.
Yeah.
Well,
Evel
like I said,
Knievel
back in the old days, I kind of feel like there was a disconnect between Hollywood and your average person that was watching this shit.
For you people who don't understand anything, you're too young to understand things, and fucking have kind of weird fucking conceptions about the way people are. Evel Knievel was the fucking man of all men. This motherfucker was alpha as fuck. I mean, this dude was so manly, he was fucking criminal. Really, he was, okay? Knievel fucking loved Liberace.
He seemed like
He
a cool
fucking
dude, actually.
loved Liberace.
I have to say.
He said Liberace was the master of all fucking putting on a show.
I mean, Evel Knievel, like
him.
from everything I've seen, like interviews, and he kind of seemed like a little bit of a dick. Gotta say.
That motherfucker was a dick. Yeah,
he was a dick.
But he could back it up.
Yeah, he could do all that shit.
He was playing with his own life.
Personality-wise, he was kind of a dick.
He was playing with his own life.
Liberace always seemed like a lovely person.
He loved Liberace.
I can see that.
He incorporated many of Liberace's fucking shtick into fucking
Well, yeah, he's
his
got
show.
the cape. He's got all that
Yeah,
shit.
he said that fucking, that Liberace was one of the bravest men he ever knew. And what he was talking about is, he knew Liberace was gay.
And he was, like, not
Yeah.
secret about it.
Not really secret about it.
Although I think that people of the time were not really ready to embrace that. So
Right,
they
yeah.
would kind of, like,
Yeah.
say it was other stuff. It's like, oh, well, he's just flamboyant.
You gotta understand something, man. Fucking Evil Knievel was fucking brave, and he understood that he wasn't brave enough to just jump on a dick the way fucking Liberace was.
Well, it was,
Liberace
like I
fucking
said,
jumped on
it's like
dick,
in a
bro.
day when everyone thinks that you're a monster or everyone
Yeah.
thinks that you're, like, subhuman,
Yeah.
it's very brave to just come out and be like, hey, this is me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it was obvious to people who knew what the deal was, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It's,
Right.
everyone's going to think you're brave if you, like, jump over a canyon or whatever,
Right,
obviously.
yeah.
That's
Right,
like, it's
yeah.
not controversial. So, I can see what he's getting at. So
If you don't believe me, look back in history. Just go look up fucking Liberace.
that makes me like Evil Knievel more.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't actually know that.
Oh no, Liberace fucking was influenced by two men in terms of on the show business side, and that was Elvis and Liberace.
Yeah.
And he
Evil
says
Knievel, you mean?
Evil Knievel was influenced by
Yeah.
Elvis and
He said
Liberace.
Yeah.
He said they were the two greatest showmen of all times. And then he went on about Liberace. He said he'd love to. He went to go see Liberace's shows. And
You know what's funny? I
said
first
that-
saw Liberace, I think, on the Muppet Show.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Like a
Liberace was kind of like the piano version of Bob Ross. He'd start talking to the fucking camera,
Yeah.
and he'd start mesmerizing bitches. You know what I mean? And he had a huge sea of female fans, usually older women. They just fucking loved him.
well.
And he said he could not come out because he didn't want to break all those hearts. That's what
I get
Liberace
that.
said. He said he wanted them to have some hope.
Because
But fuck, everybody else fucking was gay. Everybody
Everybody's
else
like,
knew,
yeah, no,
everybody
it's
else
not
knew
gonna
that motherfucker was gay.
Well,
yeah,
yeah, I
of
know.
course.
But like I said, well, the thing about Liberace and about Bob Ross and everything like that, the reason everybody loves them is not just because Bob Ross wasn't gay, but it's like the thing about it is
They had
that
connection with the audience.
yeah, and it's like, well, they have like an empathy, like a
Yeah.
sympathetic kind of
Yeah.
thing, and like people relate to that.
Right. And that's what Knievel wanted.
Yeah,
Knievel wanted it to where everyone
which
would...
he only pulled off partially, because like I
Yeah.
said, I think his personality was very. He wasn't a people person.
He was like a gladiator, okay?
Yeah.
But he wanted people to be there with him as he did those death-defying fucking jumps. He wanted you to feel that your life was at risk too.
Yeah.
And fucking and he was trying to channel Liberace and Elvis
Yeah.
at the same time to get that. He wanted you to be jumping with him,
Yeah.
not just sitting there fucking, you know what I mean?
Passively kind of.
Passively fucking cheering for his death.
Well,
because he knew that most people were there to fucking see him die.
Well, you
Yeah.
already have that kind of like, and it's the same thing with people that watch NASCAR or people that watch anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like, in a way, it's like weird because you kind of want to see like horrible accidents and you want to see
Yeah.
people get killed. But then, like, if you see
Yeah.
people get killed, like, you feel really bad because, look, I'm from Daytona Beach, which I don't know if you guys from overseas know, but that's like NASCAR Central. I grew up only a couple of miles. I was born in a hospital across the street from the Daytona International Speedway.
Yeah.
So when Dale Earnhardt got killed at one of the races, I don't remember which one it was because I don't follow that stuff, but it was kind of like this big, huge. It's like everybody wants that to happen, but then when it does happen, they all feel bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of that kind of thing. Where
Well, I
it's,
came from a generation of boys growing up in the 70s where Evel Knievel was the ultimate male. We
Yeah.
all wanted to be stuntmen. I think I talked about that on other
Yeah.
shows where I fucking stole my dad's fucking motorcycle helmet and tied a fucking beach towel around my neck, and I put my mom's fucking rubber dish gloves on and fucking jump off a top of a house because I wanted to be a stuntman.
I mean, fucking,
Yeah, Evel Knievel. We had Evel Knievel toys.
my brother had some.
Yeah.
I have two brothers, but
And
I
his
have one
trip
that's only
is a
4 years
trip,
younger than me.
how it kind of goes full circle with me and Elvis and Billy Idol, and it fucking goes around with Elvis and Billy Idol and Liberace somehow.
It's all in the crustal sphere.
It's all within the crustal sphere in some weird way because Crustle played Elvis too.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's in the crustal sphere, like tangentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sure.
It's a yin-yang thing. It's the male and female forces within men. That's what they're talking. That's what fucking Evel Knievel was talking about.
So you admit that there are female forces.
Oh yeah, there are female forces, of course.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Of course, yeah.
Because some dudes won't admit that.
Oh no. Of course, there's sun and moon and creation and
plus
destruction.
the dumb shit is that some shit that gets assigned to like female shit, I'm just kind of like going, why is that just female?
Well, there's a female destroyer too. You know what I mean? Especially if you look at fucking Indian philosophies and religions. You're talking about Kali.
Yeah.
And Kali was
it makes more sense
destroyer.
because
right.
females are creators.
Right.
As in they create more people.
Right.
So it would make sense that they would also be destroyers.
Right. We got to get back to the fucking show.
I'm just saying.
We got to get back to the
so,
show.
Yeah.
We're stretching this shit out too far. The audience is like, what the fuck are these two talking about?
I kept telling him he's just kind of like, before we started the second half, I was like, well, I have two more cases. We got to talk about Bob Crane and we got to talk about Natalie Wood.
Let's hurry this shit
and
up.
he's like, let's hurry this shit up. And I was like, he wants
because I want to make some pancakes.
I want some pancakes too.
Okay.
But I said, well, we'll hurry it up if you don't go off on a bunch of tangents. And then he goes off on a bunch of tangents.
The fucking show is about tangents. Whenever we do the tangents,
I thought that once we started the sidetracks thing,
then
and we got all our
tangents
out, like we would get all our tangent
stuff
out.
Yeah.
But then, like when I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, that probably won't happen.
It's a show.
Because if I think about stuff, if I talk about stuff that's not related to what we talk about in the tangent show, then we'll probably just go off on tangents anyway.
The show is a show. We're putting on a show.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Shit's gonna come out.
So yeah, Bob Crane.
Yeah, Bob Crane.
So Bob Crane, they find him dead in an apartment or hotel room that was like rented by the dinner theater that he was working for. He was actually working on a play called Beginner's Luck. Now, like I said, at this stage he had been like Hogan's Heroes was many years in the past. He was still well known for that. But after that had been canceled, he had kind of like gone on the dinner theater circuit, which, like I said, no judgment, but I'm just saying it's kind of like at that time people were like movies and then like TV was like a step down and then like dinner theater was like 2 or 3 steps down. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was still work though. You were still working. But everybody kind of looked askance at it. So he's on the dinner theater circuit. He's touring around the country with this play called Beginner's Luck. And apparently this dinner theater had rented, all these apartments, hotel rooms, whatever, for their actors to stay in. And that's the one he was staying at in Scottsdale, Arizona. And he got murdered in it. So, as we said before, like, after he got killed, he kind of had, like, a pretty, upstanding reputation before his murder. After he was murdered, all this shit came out about all this shit that he had been up to while he was, like, on the down low. Like I said, he was, let's call it an early adopter of, I'm just saying, no judgment.
Yeah.
No judgment. He was an early adopter of, porn technology.
Yeah,
let's call it that. Porn technology.
Selfie porn.
Yeah. Essentially what he was doing, and like I said, this wasn't like nowadays where you can just film shit with your phone. This was like when you had to go out and like specifically buy some camera equipment
like
and shit like that.
Thousands and thousands of dollars.
Thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment to like buy some, fancy shit to film yourself having sex with various women. So this was something that he was very into. Now, a lot of his family said that he was also into, kind of filming other things too, like family moments and whatnot. Because he'd married his high school sweetheart. They had a couple of kids at this stage. And I don't think they knew about any of this. Yeah. But, like I said, after he died, it kind of came out that he had been... Like I said, there's a question of like whether a lot of it was consensual or not, but apparently he didn't have a problem like
it was hard for it to be
women.
Not consensual because you couldn't hide these cameras, so they must have known. I mean, it required a bunch of fucking equipment.
I mean, you could have put him in a closet, technically.
But the shit made noise when it ran. It's not like you could just like put a little tiny fucking cell phone.
It was harder back then. It was harder to like, yeah.
I got a feeling they knew.
So I do feel like, maybe a lot of these people knew. Maybe they were okay with being filmed. Maybe not. I don't really know. But he was into filming himself having sex with women and either just keeping it for his own use or trading it among friends or like other aficionados or whatever. So he, like I said, he was an early adopter of porn technology. So...
You call it a technology. That's fucking funny.
Well, I'm just saying. And I have to say, too, that porn, deride it all you want, but...
It's a universal. It goes back to the Great Pyramids.
Not only is it a universal, but porn also tends to be, the whole porn industry tends to be very early adopters of new technology. I mean, look at like when...
It's cutting edge.
VHS first came out, for example. Before the big movie studios even
it's like
got
streaming.
wind of like what was going on with
like
that.
Streaming.
Porn was onto that shit.
Porn girls are fucking live cam.
They were onto that shit.
They're streaming it. They stream the shit live cam. Okay, that's the way Hollywood's gonna have to do the shit now. I don't think those theaters are coming back.
They're already doing it.
It's gonna be. They were saying it today. Remember, I called that shit, that they're going to start streaming.
Well, I told you yesterday or the day before, I got an
call.
email from AMC Theaters, and they are already streaming several of their movies that were either in the theaters or had just left the theaters.
And may as well watch them. Remind me tomorrow. We'll watch what they're streaming.
Well, we've already seen some of them.
Oh, okay.
Like some of it's like Birds of Prey. We've already seen that. Like Invisible Man, we've already seen that. Even though it was very good, and I wouldn't mind seeing that again. But it's like... We've already seen some of the shit. Like, some of the movies that they're showing, I haven't seen. So
Hollywood is going to adopt the Netflix model. It doesn't have a choice.
I do feel it. Well, like I said, it would be cool if they could have, like, the theaters as an option if you wanted that. But it's like, it would be cool if they could release stuff to the theater and streaming at the same time. So you can have an option, hey, if you want to go out and see it, you can see it. But also, if you want to watch it in your house, you can also watch it in your house.
If they did that, what'll happen is that they'll all take the streaming and no one would go to that.
Well, you don't know that because some people do like going to the theater.
Enough
like, I like going to the theater.
It won't be enough to keep the theater
But they could have, like, smaller theaters. It could be more
They'll
like
have less of them. The theaters will move to different places and there'll be less of them.
But if people wanted to go out, because look at like in Orlando specifically where we live, there's a theater called the Enzian, which it's been there for like as long as I can remember. And it's like an indie theater. Yeah. So they don't show new movies, but they show like specialty movies or stuff that doesn't get shown here by like the big theaters. They have a whole cafe, they have food, they have booze.
Bar.
They have a bar, they have everything like that. So it's like, it's kind of like you can go out for the night and you can see either an old movie or like a new indie movie or a documentary, something you wouldn't be able to see in a theater. And you can have a meal, you can have wine, you can have a beer, you can have whatever. And it's like a whole experience.
Once again, we got sidetracked.
Well, yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it's that shit happened.
I know. Well, you know what I try to tell you. You're thinking about pancakes.
We're thinking about pancakes.
You go off
pancakes and eggs and bacon and shit like that. Okay.
Well, yeah, you can do that. It's not that late. No. So everybody kind of knew, like I said, nobody knew, his close friends knew at the time, but after he died, like everybody kind of found out that he was into all of this porn business and like filming himself. Now, it turned out that he had, let's call it a partner in crime, in the colloquial sense. I'm not meaning like crime in real sense. Named John Henry Carpenter. This is not John Carpenter, the film director that we always talk about. This is a different dude entirely. He was a video equipment salesperson, and he was a friend of Bob Crane's. He was also a friend of, some of you older people may know, Richard Dawson, who was Family Feud host. Yeah. He was also in Running Man.
That dude was a dog.
He was also...
He was a fucking dog.
Yeah, he was also in Hogan's Heroes, but like, younger people might know him.
That's another dude you didn't want around your wife.
None of these dudes.
No, yeah.
None of these dudes, man.
And he did a great job in fucking Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He was very good.
He was awesome. Yeah.
I remember, like, I didn't even know he was in Hogan's Heroes because that was a little before my time, but I knew him from Family Feud because I used to watch that.
I was in Hogan's Heroes. I saw it when I was a little kid come after school.
Yeah.
Yeah, on reruns.
So I feel like Bob Crane, even though like a lot of people didn't know about his proclivities, like some people that he worked with kind of knew what was going on because he was kind of known for being, let's call it, I don't know. He had like sexual. He had like a highly sexual aptitude. Yeah, he had sexual problems. Not like Dennis. He wasn't killing people or tying them up or anything. Not like Dennis Rader. But yeah, like he would. He tended to have affairs with his coworkers. Shit like that. It didn't seem like anything rapey outright, but it did seem like he was always kind of like he was very flirty, and he was kind of like always having affairs.
It's what they call back in the day a dick slinger.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
So I do feel like, and he also had a tendency of like, he would go and sleep with women who weren't necessarily celebrities. He would just like go to other cities, like if he was working in other cities, and he would sleep with women and he would take pictures of them. I don't know if it was consensual or not. And then he would like put them in these like scrapbooks.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, that's that chick from Jacksonville. Remember
Yeah.
that? You know what I mean?
It was consensual, I'm sure it was.
He
was a celebrity, so they were just
according to his friends, it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was a celebrity. There was no internet back then. There was no...
And he was a good-looking fella.
Yeah, they were like,
so,
take a picture of the titties. You're like, yeah, okay. And he's like, yeah, there you go.
But, so, apparently at the time that he was doing this, I guess he was working for Disney, and he was doing some Disney movies. Like I said, they were very concerned about their stars, images at the time. And apparently, he was kind of doing this Disney movie called Super Dad, which was supposed to be this like really wholesome family movie or whatever. And it was started kind of getting around that he was like banging all these women and like taking pictures of them and like keeping it in a scrapbook or whatever. So he was kind of like getting a bad reputation. So, I don't know. It's his family tend to think it's like, yeah, it seemed like after it all came out, it seemed like, oh, he had this dark side and everything like that people didn't know about. But they're like, well, he was just a very sexual person and...
Very sexual person.
Yeah, and they're just kind of making him look bad. Like I said, if it was all consensual, then that's fine.
I'm sure it was.
But,
There would have been they'd have come after him with the fucking courts and shit. If he was raping them, they'd have charged
That's what
him.
I'm saying. I kind of feel like there wasn't any rape involved.
There were, it was another
as far as I know, there were no rape allegations.
He was a celebrity, and there was a lot of women that fucking, easy to charm. They were into that,
I mean, he was the kind of guy who,
women.
as soon as his son turned 21, he took him to see Deep Throat.
Yeah, all right.
He's like, hey, check
you
this
take
out.
your son to see a porno movie? This motherfucker's something.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
were they in the theater beating off next to each other?
I hope not.
Damn, they better not.
Because that would be weird.
That'd be some weird shit. But who knows?
It's kind of weird taking your son, even if your son's an adult. It is kind of weird taking your son to a porno movie.
Yeah, that's weird shit.
I mean,
it wouldn't fly with me.
Yeah, imagine if you
Just
had a 21-year-old son.
Let's go watch this porno movie. Yeah.
Would you want to watch porn with your son? It's kind of like how you don't...
Pass me that lube.
Right? It's kind of like, I'm not a dude, so I don't know. But it's kind of like, when you watch like a movie with your parents, like say you're just watching like a normal movie with your parents, and then like there's like a sex scene and you forgot it was in there, and then you're all really uncomfortable. I kind of feel like it would be that, but like times 100.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Like I said, no judgment, but
I'm gonna judge.
It's weird.
I'm gonna judge. It's just weird. Yeah.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
But that is something that that he would do, evidently, according to his son. So, like I said, his TV career was, Hogan's Heroes was long in the past. He was still kind of a star, but at this stage he was like on the dinner theater circuit. So he gets to Phoenix, Arizona. He's touring with this fucking play. And this was his second marriage at this point, and he was kind of like heading toward divorce. He had some guest spots on the Love Boat and shit like that, which, like I said, that was another thing that was kind of like contributing to you not being in the A-list anymore. So now, according to most people, so he had this friend, John Henry Carpenter. Like I said, not John Carpenter, the director. I want to make that clear. So the two of them are friends, and they apparently made a lot of porn together, like in the sense that Carpenter would film them, or like they would share films between them, or whatever. Now there is some there's some kind of like controversy over what their relationship was at this point, like when Bob Crane was killed, because his son seems to think that Carpenter was the one that killed Bob Crane, because he says that at this point in Bob Crane's life, he was kind of like thinking of turning his shit around, and he was kind of sick of John Henry Carpenter always hanging around, and he didn't really like him particularly, and he just kind of wanted to like kind of take out the trash, sort of. So there was kind of a thing where he was like, well, I'm just going to confront him and tell him I don't want to hang out with him anymore or anything. So I kind of feel like the son feels like there was like this kind of, he calls it almost like a lover spat, because they had been very close friends for a long time. And he was like, I kind of feel like they, he maybe told him off, like, hey, I don't want to see you anymore, or something like that. And then John Henry Carpenter got pissed off and beat him to death. And that was who killed him. But that's the thing. Like, I kind of tend toward that, outcome. But it's like...
There weren't any other suspects?
He's kind of the main suspect. And I have to say that there's a lot of circumstantial evidence pointing to him. Although...
Could it have been like a husband of one of these girls that he was taking pictures of?
That's what I mean. There's like so many other people it could have been. Like, yes, I kind of feel like Carpenter is the most likely suspect. Because look, they had been friends for a long time. They were in like, he filmed a lot of porn for him. They were very close. According to his son and a couple of other people, Crane was sick of Carpenter hanging around. Like, he saw him as kind of like a leech or a hanger-on or something like that. And he was kind of tired of him being, and he was going to confront him and tell him to like go away.
It could be because you got to understand, Crane would have been this dude's ticket into these taking pictures. Of these women. If Crane goes, then boys porno fucking goes too. You know what I mean? Like his ability to watch porn happen. You know what I mean? He might have been a voyeuristic kind of guy to where he wants to watch people have sex. He wants to take pictures. Yeah. And if Crane fucking walks out, he won't be able to do it on his own. So there might have been some kind of a fight there. You know what I mean? An argument broke out, and one thing led to another. He probably didn't plan on killing him, but maybe he did.
That's what I mean. Yeah. It's like, okay, so they did, at the time, Carpenter was the main suspect. They impounded his rental car, which was a Chrysler Cordoba.
Oh, man. Now, Chrysler Cordoba. Next thing you know,
Corinthian leather.
Yeah, fine. Ricardo Montalban shows up. No, it's another era.
Only old people know about what we're talking about right now.
Another era.
But it's like it's sad because it's like I'm not that old, but I still remember all this shit.
The old Star Trek movies and shit, fucking Star Trek 2 and shit.
We've been watching all those over the last couple.
Those old Star Trek movies are fucking awesome.
They're better than I remembered, actually.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, Spock is my spirit animal. So.
Yeah. We're talking about with fucking, Kirk and Spock.
Yeah.
Star Trek 1 through 5. Go ahead and check them out, man. They're good.
Although if Spock wasn't in them, it's like it would have been... I don't think I would have bothered watching them.
Spock was awesome.
Spock is clearly the
Leonard
best.
Nimoy fucking created that character.
He was the best part of the series and of all the movies.
We're getting sidetracked again. Let's go.
But yeah, so Carpenter, it seems like to me, is the most likely suspect in the sense that even though some people said that, yes, the night before the murder, they had apparently had dinner together, him and Bob Crane. Now, some people said they were arguing. However, there are also witnesses that said they were just having dinner like normal people, and it looked like they were all chummy and everything like that. So there's some, ambiguity there. Now, they did search Carpenter's rental car, and they found some blood in there. However, it was like indeterminate. Like where it was, what it came from, like, you know what I mean? They don't really know, like, where, and it was a rental car, so they didn't really have, like, any way of proving anything. So, Carpenter did actually go to trial for the shit, but he was acquitted. Now, the case was reopened in 2011 because apparently somebody that was going through like some old like crime scene footage and whatever, like for the case, because this is a pretty high profile case, right? They found a photograph from the old police files that seemed to show not only the blood on the inside of Carpenter's rental car, but also what appeared to be a fragment of brain matter. And so they introduced that to like the district attorney, and the district attorney said, okay, well, that's kind of maybe enough. They couldn't find the actual piece of brain matter like in evidence or anything that apparently had been lost or destroyed at some point. But they were like, well, the photograph is clear enough that it looked like it was enough that they could reopen the case. So they reopened the case in 2011, and I believe they retried Carpenter at that point. Damn. However, the DNA evidence, because like I said, they still had a lot of the evidence from the case. They redid the DNA evidence, but the DNA that they could recover from the rental car, it was just from, all they could determine was unidentified male. That's all they couldn't
pin it on anybody.
So it's like they couldn't pin it on him. Now, most people do believe that Carpenter was probably the most likely suspect, even though I have to say that they're pretty sure that Bob Crane died from, blunt force trauma to the head. Now, most people said, and this has kind of been repeated a lot, like from varying sources of the years, that he had been beaten in the head with a camera tripod. They're not sure if that's the case.
Yeah.
They're saying that a lot of sources reported that because they were trying to pin it on Carpenter, saying, oh, well, that's obviously what he would have used because he was a photographer. But most of the investigating officers said, we don't know what he was beaten with. Yeah. We couldn't tell what it was.
You're saying that Carpenter is most likely.
He is the most likely suspect.
But most likely is not enough to get a conviction.
That's what I mean.
It has to be beyond a shadow of a doubt. It's not enough. So Carpenter, if you're out there, it's not enough.
He's dead now.
He's dead now. Yeah. It's not enough.
Like I said, most people think he was the most likely suspect. Some people have speculated that maybe his ex-wife had something to do with it because she was the only one that got any monetary gain from his death. That maybe she hired somebody, but
unlikely.
Money's always a good thing, but it's like it's kind of a long stretch to like, hey, I'd get $1 million to, hey, let's hire somebody to kill that dude. That's two completely different things. Honestly, I kind of feel like in this situation, obviously somebody killed him. It was somebody that he probably knew because there was no sign of forced entry. You know what I mean? When they went in there, it didn't look like anything was disturbed otherwise. So somebody obviously came in that knew him.
It probably was Carpenter.
I kind of feel like it probably was.
It's his buddy.
But,
they were fighting.
And according to his son and several other witnesses, they said that Bob Crane was kind of sick of Carpenter hanging around, and he was kind of like wanting to get out of that shit, and he wanted to like cut ties with him. And so there would have been a motive there. But like I said, there's not enough evidence. They had DNA from the car. They had everything. Yeah. I do kind of feel like he's probably the most likely suspect, but there is really no way of proving it at this point because he's dead now.
Yeah.
So
that went back into that's back in time, back in the 70s Love Motel era. You'll never be able to prove it.
The Love Motel.
Yeah, Love Motels and shit. That's back when they had damn fucking what did they call it? Carpet going up on the ceilings.
I love it.
Carpets going up the walls and sound. Yeah.
You know what?
Indoor fucking waterfalls and shit.
One of my favorite things, it's like, I know this is another tangent, but one of my favorite things, we've mentioned the Dan Bell show before, where he usually does dead malls, but he does other things too. Yeah. But there was this one, it was an abandoned Love Motel, like hotel in the Poconos.
That's what I was thinking of.
And it's abandoned now, but it was like a big thing like in the 70s and stuff, and he goes in there and like films it, and it's amazing.
Yeah, fucking couples would go there back in the 70s, and they'd fucking go to the Love Motel and this big social thing. There'd be swinging involved, and you'd trade your girlfriend with somebody else's girlfriend and wives, and fucking, just that's what they did back then. Go figure.
Everybody had sexually transmitted diseases back then.
Yeah, that was before AIDS. So
AIDS put a stop to that real quick. Yeah. They're like, you can't just bang anything that moves. That's going to have some consequences.
Wife swapping.
right. So the last case we're going to talk about, the infamous case of Miss Natalie Wood.
Yeah, she died when I was a little boy.
Now, if you guys don't know, like some of you youngsters might not know that like don't watch older movies and stuff. She got her start as a child actress. She was actually one of her big breakout roles was Miracle on 34th Street. She was the kid in that. She was also in West Side Story. So she was in a bunch of shit. I think she had like 3 Oscar nominations before she was 25. So she was like a very prominent child actress.
She was pretty.
Yeah, and even like as a child actress, directors like really wanted to work with her because even before she was a teenager, she was known as One Take Natalie, because what she would do is that she would not only learn her part, but she would learn everyone's parts, and she would be like fucking prepared for the shit. Now, her parents were actually Russian immigrants. Her name was changed from like a much more like Russian name. So her mom was like a stage mom and kind of wanted her to be the breadwinner of the family. So you know how that goes. So she was kind of like pushing her to be. There are some like fucked up stories about apparently on the set of, I believe it was Miracle on 34th Street, when she had to cry in one scene, Natalie Wood had to cry in one scene. Apparently her mom like pulled her off the set and like pulled the wings off a butterfly like to get her to cry because she knew that she'd be upset about it.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing. But yeah, she was actually really, really successful from a very early age. Now, the thing about it, though, it's like when she was growing up, like I said, she was very prominent. She had many Oscar nominations. She was very respected. She dated Elvis Presley for a time, which they went into in the biopic by John Carpenter that we're watching at the moment. She dated a lot of famous people, even when she was very young. And she worked with a lot of famous directors. Now, eventually, she ended up marrying Richard Wagner, who people from our era will know from Heart to Heart. He was in like a lot of shit before that, like he's quite famous, but that's where I knew him from. Yeah, like he was in Heart to Heart. It was like a detective show. So they ended up marrying, and then they divorced, but then they ended up marrying again later on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's when the trouble started. So Natalie Wood, when she was 43 years old, like I said, she'd had a lot of success when she was younger. When she got into her 40s, as happens with many actresses, they were having a harder time finding work. She had been married to Robert Wagner at one point in the past, and she had divorced him and had dated other kind of high-profile people, but then they ended up hooking back up like 10 or 12 years like after their divorce and getting married again. Now, Robert Wagner had a yacht called the Splendor, and they often went out on it when they were kind of trying to get away from it all or whatever. So it so happened that around this time period, in 1981, this actually happened. She and Robert Wagner, as well as Christopher Walken, who was actually starring in a movie with Robert Wagner at the time, they were all out on the boat, kind of partying or trying to get away from everything. So Natalie Wood, who was 43 at the time, she ends up dead. Her body is found floating off the coast of Catalina Island. And at first, it seemed like an accident, like she had just drowned. It appeared from the autopsy that she had died from drowning. However, over the years, some weird shit has come to light that makes it seem like maybe her death was not exactly.
I remember when it happened.
Accident.
Everybody was talking about it.
Like I said, 81 this happened.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening? So the night that this happened, it was Thanksgiving weekend of 1981. So they're all out on the boat. They take a sailing trip around Catalina Island. Like I said, it was Robert Wagner, Natalie Wood, and it was Christopher Walken, who was working on a movie with Robert Wagner at the time. And what had happened, okay, so what they said at the time, they found her body, like, the following morning, and at first, they ruled the death an accident, even though it must be noted that when her body was found, she wasn't wearing, like, swimming stuff. She had, like, a coat on and, like, a nightgown and, like, stuff that you wouldn't necessarily be, like, swimming around in.
Did they say she was swimming?
No.
Okay.
They said, what Robert Wagner said at the time was that he and Christopher Walken had been talking. They'd all been drinking. They admitted that. They had all been out to dinner previously, like the night before, and they were all kind of pretty hammered. And they'd all kind of gone back to the boat, and they were all kind of like hanging out. And she had gone to bed early, like at 10 or 10:30 or something. And then when he went to check on her, when he went to bed, she wasn't there. That's what he said.
So they're going to say she fell overboard.
That's kind of like what the story was for a long time. And even like when they first did the autopsy, when they first did like cause of death or anything like that, they ruled it an accidental drowning. But a lot of people were kind of skeptical even from the beginning. Partially because even though it appeared that the cause of death was drowning, she did seem to have some minor bruising on her arms. She also had an abrasion on her left cheek, although these were fairly superficial. It wasn't kind of like, you know, it didn't look like it was beating on her or anything, but it just was something to like note. So for a long time, it kind of stayed on the death certificate that she had died just by accidental drowning. And most people said, well, we were all kind of drunk that night. It's like maybe she tried to climb on the dinghy, like from the yacht, which was called the Valiant, and had somehow like fallen off the boat and had drowned, even though it must be noted that Natalie Wood was particularly terrified of water. She could not swim, and she had been terrified of water her whole life. Most sources say because when she was a kid, her mom had taken her to a psychic, and the psychic had told her, one, that she would be a great beauty when she grew up and she would be famous, which was true. And also that she should, quote unquote, beware of dark water. And ever since then, she was like really scared of water. And her mom even said, everyone in her family said she couldn't swim. She didn't really like water. So a lot of people said, well, she wouldn't have just gone out into the dinghy on her own, drunk, because they were. In her regular clothes, her nightgown and like a coat and stuff. They just thought that was kind of weird. So for a long time, there was like a lot of questions surrounding this. Now, it turned out that many years later, the guy who was like hold on a second, I lost my place. So in 2001, though, the guy who was the captain of the yacht, whose name was Dennis Davern. Now, he said that even though at the time that Natalie Wood had turned up dead in 1981, he had corroborated Wagner's story. He came out in 2011 and said, you know, there was some shit I didn't tell people. So he said that not only had I believe he had taken Natalie to the shore like the night before, like in the dinghy, because her and Robert Wagner had been having a fight. But he also kind of said that, I didn't tell you this before, but Robert Wagner and Christopher Walken were also having an argument. They said, like, look, before they went back out on the yacht, like the night that she disappeared, they had all been having dinner at this place. And apparently someone that worked at this restaurant where they were having dinner said that one of them, they don't know who it was because they didn't see it, threw either a glass or a bottle against the wall. Like, so apparently there was like they were all like inebriated, and they were all having a big argument. Now, most people speculate that the argument was because Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood were in a movie together, and there was a lot of speculation that, I don't think anyone thought that they were sleeping together necessarily, but a lot of people said that there was like a lot of like, they were like kind of into each other, and there was like, you could like tell there was like a lot of like sexual tension between them and like a lot of electricity, quote unquote. So I think Robert Wagner was like kind of pissed about that. And the captain even said later, he's like, I heard part of an argument in which Robert Wagner said to Christopher Walken, "Are you trying to fuck my wife?" quote unquote. So apparently there was a big fight going on the boat that night between Robert Wagner and Christopher Walken, and it was over her. Everyone was drunk. Nobody denies that. So there's also the testimony which came out later of some people that were on another boat that was, like in the same area. And they said, the people on this boat said they heard somebody, a woman's voice yelling like, help me, I'm drowning," or something like that. So some people have kind of speculated that, one, Natalie Wood, being afraid of the water, would not have gotten into the dinghy, like to go to the shore, presumably, by herself. And also, there had been this whole thing where they were like fighting, and the captain had like kept that from authorities, and he didn't admit it till many years later. So some people are kind of thinking, and in 2011, they came out and announced that even though Wagner was not a person of interest before, now he was. And I don't even remember.
Is he alive?
If he is, he's in his 90s.
Yeah.
So he was not necessarily a person of interest before, even though suspicions have followed him since then that he maybe, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but like I said, everyone was drunk, everyone was fighting. Maybe if there was some kind of like, oh, you are having an affair with Christopher Walken or whatever. I mean, Christopher Walken, it doesn't, like, I love Christopher Walken. I'm not letting that like fucking color my perceptions, but he doesn't seem to know what happened. He's like, look, man, it's like, yeah, we were arguing and stuff, but I just went to bed. I don't know what happened after that. So I kind of buy that, but I do kind of think that maybe the sexual tension between him and Natalie Wood, I feel like Wagner was maybe getting a little possessive about it. And I don't know if he meant for anything to happen, but he might have like...
Sounds all far-fetched to me.
He might have pushed her overboard. I don't think he meant to. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know if he meant to.
It sounds far-fetched to me. People on another boat hear a woman calling for help. I'm drowning, and they don't go help. Captain of the ship doesn't fucking jump in and try to fucking help a woman from drowning. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I think that was all shit to surface later. I think it was just a normal partying on the boat, talking shit. And then somehow or another she got up in the middle of the night, was going to walk somewhere to take a piss or something, walking around the boat, slipped and fell, and that bitch couldn't swim. She drowned.
Well, it looked like, even at the time when they were, presuming that it was like an accident or whatever, it looked like she had tried to get into the dinghy, the Valiant.
Where was the dinghy? It was on deck?
Yeah, or hanging off the side of the boat. And she was trying to get into it to go to the shore. Which, like I said, the captain was like, well, I had taken her to the shore the previous day, like in this dinghy, because they were out in the yacht, like out in the water. And he's like, I don't think she would have done that. And even her sister said that too. It's like, she was like really afraid of water, so she wouldn't have like tried to get into the dinghy by herself. She would have gone to the captain and said, hey, can you take me to the shore or whatever. But everyone was drunk too. So I'm not really sure. Like,
she might have been. They're saying maybe she went to the dinghy. Maybe she was just walking around on the fucking bow or the stern and walking around and fucking fell in the water. She was fucking drunk, staggering. You know what I mean?
It could be. It could be that it's just an accident.
Just because a woman falls in the water, she can't swim, she drowns, that doesn't make it murder. You got to be able to prove murder. They'll never be able to prove murder.
I don't think they'll ever be able to. It's like, and I'm not saying, I don't know if Wagner had anything to do with it. I do think that he had motive to, because I do think that there is sufficient evidence that he was
I think it's unlikely.
Upset about her and Christopher Walken and their like supposed flirtation or whatever it was, and they had an argument. Somebody had thrown a glass or a bottle like at the restaurant they were at, which, you know, I can see that. I don't know.
Hollywood.
It is kind of a thing to like it. to go from that to like the next day, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
push her off the boat. Like I said, I'm not. Even if he did do it, I don't think it was on purpose.
And Hollywood people are wild. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I don't think he'd have been that jealous of the fact that fucking Walken might have been trying to fucking chase it down. I think
I think I'd go for Walken more than Robert Wagner. Actually.
Yeah,
Well, even
so-
back in the day.
But you know, they're drunk talking shit. And they
True.
might have not have been serious when they were talking about all that shit.
True.
Might have been joking around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think she got drunk, somehow fell overboard. I mean, it happens on those damn pleasure cruises on those big old ships. Some of those people I think are thrown. But I think most
because it does seem like, oh hey, perfect crime.
Yeah, but I think a lot of them just drunk.
This
and
one's
fall.
kind of like this one is
They're
one
throwing
where
up over the deck. See,
Yeah.
they're fucking puking over the deck, and somehow they lose their bounce, fall in between the guardrail and fucking.
this one kind of bothers me because I'm not really like a lot of the other ones. I kind of have an idea, even though I wasn't there, of like what I think might have happened. This one I'm not really sure. It's like either way could have been possible. It does seem like. It does seem like Robert Wagner acted kind of sketchy, like in the sense that he didn't really contact anyone right away, even though he noticed that she was missing, presumably. And some of the stuff that he said, like, was contradicted by the captain later on.
Might have
like,
been loaded.
Yeah, but it's like, that's the thing. When a lot of people are inebriated at one time, it's like shit can happen and
You think that would fall
people
on the captain?
don't really remember.
You think that would fall on the captain?
So it's very possible that she might have like not gone into the water like on purpose, but it's like she might have got the idea. Like I said, you get drunk, you get stupid ideas. It's like she might have thought, hey, I'm gonna go to the shore, like fuck going to find the captain or whatever. I'm just gonna get in the dinghy and go to the shore, and then she did that. And
the
then
captain,
she fell in.
Captain wasn't watching over them while they were drinking. He doesn't know anything
Well, I
about
think this was like late at night. This was like
Okay.
the middle of the night.
Yeah,
So he might have been sleeping.
Captain should have been on duty.
He should have been. But like
Should
I
have
said,
been
he was
watching
probably
over.
asleep. And like I said, the fact that he didn't come forward till later, I don't know. It just seems really weird to me. It's like, yes, it's very likely could have been an accident, and I don't want to like accuse anybody of anything, but
Sea's a dangerous place. They're fucking loaded. I think she fell overboard.
it could have been an accident. I mean, manslaughter is as far as I'll go. I don't think anybody did anything on purpose. If anything did happen. If it wasn't an accident, then I don't think anyone intended it. I just think it was like a sad circumstance. And like I said, I'm not even sure if Robert Wagner is still alive. Like in 2011, I think he was 89.
Oh, he's got to be dead by now.
And they, then they came forward and said, yeah, now he's a person of interest now that we have like all this new information. But
they would never
he
get
kind
a
of like took the fifth and everything about
They'd
it.
never get a conviction.
But
this
it's
late
kind
up.
of like the stigma about it has like followed him for many years, even though her death was ruled an accident. Now in 2011, I should note that her cause of death was changed to drowning, accidental, possibly with other factors involved or whatever the wording was. So they actually kind of upgraded it from accident to accident, but maybe not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure how that all is going to go. And like I said, Robert Wagner, I'm not even sure if he's still alive at this point because I think he was 89 in 2011 when they reopened the case. So I'm not really sure. And like I said, this is one where I have no idea because it could seriously go either way. I'm not sure if it was an accident. I'm not sure if it was, like I said, manslaughter as far as I go.
I'm going to say most likely.
Because I think it was probably, I don't think it was intentional.
I'm going to say most likely she fell overboard.
Even if he did push her overboard, it's like, I don't think it was intentional. I think everyone was like fighting.
It's going too far to say that somebody pushed somebody.
That's what I'm saying, allegedly.
Right. No.
If that did happen,
No.
then I don't think it was intentional.
I think she was out running around by herself, fucking drunk, fucking throwing up over the side, fucking fell out.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. All right, so that was our very long, probably it was very long. Yes, it was. Show about crimes of old Hollywood. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. We're probably drunk, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
I gotta make shit.
Yeah, you need to make some pancakes.
Yeah.
Just don't put salt in there instead of sugar or some other shit.
No,
Like that.
we're gonna put.
You'll do all right.
I never did that.
No, I don't think you ever did.
Okay.
All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying our daily updates, which we are going to keep doing at least until we get tired of doing it or until
Kingdom Come.
Until this fucking shit gets sorted out.
Yeah.
Until everyone's not fucking worried anymore. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying that. So this has been episode 188, Crimes of Old Hollywood. And remember, if you like the show, like, share, subscribe on all your social media. If you'd like to financially support the show, I know you guys are all kind of probably a little bit doing financially not so good at the time because all the shit is going on. But if you would like to support the show, we would much appreciate it. You can go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/13o'clockpodcast, or you can go to our blog, 13o'clockpodcast.wordpress.com, and there's a button in the sidebar to a PayPal account. If you'd like to give a one-time donation to keep the show going, any amount is much appreciated. And we will see you next time we see you. Bye.